Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast, the heart of the fan.
Braves ace Max Fried was last night's headliner, but the story became Georgia native Travis Demeritte with a little bit of help from Braves country.
She was my inspiration behind the home run. So that lovely woman there, she said it was her first game here, and she told me to go up and hit a home run. And I was like, I don't know about all that, but I'm going to do my best.
And he drives the first one the other way to right. That ball is high off the bricks and gone! Travis Demeritte, an opposite field home run, and the Braves are back in front.
You paid it off with the high five, and I know this is a night she'll never forget, and certainly I hope it's one you'll never forget.
Certainly, it won't be. It won't be. This will go down in history in my books.
We welcome you to Atlanta, Georgia, where Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. An outing that Phil Negro would have appreciated last night. Max Fried was terrific in Game 1 of our series between the Braves and Cubs. Tonight, Travis Demeritte and Charlie Morton take center stage as the Braves try for their first series win here in 2022. Hi again, everybody. Chip and Jeff, welcome back to the ballpark. Great night for Max Fried. Atlanta won Game 1 against the Cubs. Now, partner, it's time for Charlie Morton to play follow the leader. What do you expect and what do you want to see from Charlie in the middle game of the series?
Well, I think for Charlie, we saw last year started off slow, and I think it's a little bit of a trend for him. That curveball is a field pitch, and he's really got to throw it a lot. You think, partner, shortened spring training this year for him. Probably didn't have as much time to get it. So you see the first 5 starts last year and then the rest of the season. I think same thing this year. He's 1 and 2 with a 6.32. We've seen times where he's been really good, but he's also been erratic. So hopefully tonight's a good chance versus an inexperienced lineup to kind of get himself going like Max did and pass the baton to Kyle Wright tomorrow night.
It's been a rough week for the Cubs offensively, with the exception of one game against the Pirates. Hopefully that trend continues here in Atlanta in Game 2. Charlie Morton, ground chuck on the mound. It's the Braves and the Cubs. Perfect night for baseball. Lineups and first pitch coming right up. It's another beautiful baseball night in Atlanta. Not a cloud above as the Cubs get set to face the Braves. Their skipper, David Ross, a former Brave, and Jeff, a couple of former Braves in their Toyota starting lineup. Rafael Ortega is their leadoff DH, and Jason Hayward, as we suspected, is hitting 7th in center field. And a big game for Charlie Morton. He'll try to earn a series win with a victory tonight.
Yeah, for Charlie, I think it's more just consistency tonight. He's been in and out of the zone. Has not really found his curveball yet. Last year faced the Cubs, 4 hits with 5 runs and 5 1/3 back in April too. So hopefully tonight a little sharper and crisper.
So his first of the night is off the plate, and we are underway in Atlanta. Beautiful weather.
First pitch at 7:20. Game time temperature 72 degrees.
72 perfect degrees as Ortega skies that back and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Remember, Rafael played with the Braves back in 2019.
You remember his big hit?
Salami, right?
Versus the Dodgers.
Yes. He's hitting .205 with the Cubs this year. And there's that sharp breaking ball that we've been so spoiled in seeing from Morton. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And it just hasn't had the bite yet. You know, last year opponents hit 127 off it, 263 so far this year. And we'll get into it a little more with the baseball. There's been a lot of talk going, but you wonder with the seams and everything if it's taken him a little bit too to get used to it.
A couple of hit batsmen for Charlie too, which is not like him for a guy with his control. So we'll see what's in the mix tonight. The 2-2 almost hit him, full count. Ortega made his first career opening day roster. Real nice story of persistence.
That was cool. I was down there yesterday when he came over and gave Snit a hug, told him how happy he was for him.
The payoff pitch, and he lost him. Ortega walks. So Jeffrey, Ortega aboard to start the game. What are your Ford keys?
Right on cue for number 1 for Charlie. Get through the first. He has struggled out there in San Diego early, and then LA, of course, the 2 runs. So for him, just get through it and then get in a groove, and offensively be patient. Leiter Jr. throwing night, 6 base on balls and 7 1/3 this year. Haven't seen him too much. Make him throw some pitches.
And your point about the first inning is worth mentioning. 5 of Morton's 11 runs have come in the opening frame. And the Cubs have scored 16 first inning tallies. That's their highest total of any inning. So Charlie to the stretch right away for Seiya Suzuki. Got our first look at the Cubs Japanese import. He was 0 for 4 last night. And after a sizzling start for Suzuki, he's cooled off just a bit. 5 hits in his last 23 at bats. That's to be expected, I would think, partner, as teams get more video, get a book on him. Doesn't take long for that intelligence to be passed along. No balls and a strike. And downstairs for an even count. And Charlie didn't like that baseball, so he gets another. 1 ball, 1 strike. As I mentioned in the open, it's been a rough week for Chicago. They've lost 6 of 7 games. The one exception was that 21-0 blowout of the Pirates. And that one backed up and in for a strike. Ortega's tried 2 stolen base attempts. He's been unsuccessful in both of them.
David Ross was telling me with Suzuki, they met him in LA when they were trying to sign him, and he talked about how he loved Mike Trout, wanted his number. And Rossi said, look, I'll go make you a jersey.
Yeah. And Ortega just back. Let's see if the Braves take a look at this. He was leaning.
Close. He just got that right arm in.
Quinn Wolcott, the first base umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Suzuki. And popped out of play. This guy was called the red helmeted Ichiro when he played in Japan. The Hiroshima Carp wore red uniforms, and he wore number 51, and he was a sensational player in the Japanese leagues. How about that? Before you come to the States, you're compared to Ichiro and Mike Trout.
And well, 2 pretty good guys to wear their numbers.
Man. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So his curveball is sharp, but it's off target.
Well, and Suzuki, you know, if there's one thing that I think some of the Japanese players, Chip, when they come to the U.S., they don't have the fastball velocity over there that you see now. They get breaking stuff a lot. So majority of the guys that come over here, good breaking ball hitters, it takes them a little bit, usually with the velocity.
Charlie paying a lot of attention to Ortega at first. Two balls, 2 strikes. Well, this swung at ball 3. There's a break and fouled back. Charlie's trying to throw that breaking ball to get a feel for it, it looks like, Jeff, and it's been an in and out pitch among the first 12 that he's thrown in this opening inning. Outfield shade. Suzuki toward right field. The pitch. Full count. Let's see if Ortega takes off with nobody out. Ian Happ is on deck. Craig Driver with some advice for Ortega, who's got a half step bigger lead. He's going. The pitch is strike three. Here's the throw to second. Right on the money, and in time, strike him out, throw him out, double play.
I don't know, that shows me right there Chip Suzuki was looking for that curveball, because he took a center cut fastball and really almost was kind of like a pitch out. Look at that, right down the middle. When you have no swing, clear path for d'Arnaud to throw the ball.
And d'Arnaud saying finally, Braves had only thrown out one would-be base stealer. That one a strong, accurate throw.
Well, he's probably saying too, 95 right down the middle helps.
Yeah.
Get rid of the ball quick.
So fresh life for Charlie. He and Happ with 2 outs. And that's off the plate. Happ's reached base in 8 straight games for the Cubs. 3 straight games with a hit and 5 in total. Good looking young player, Ian Happ, who homered here last night. 1 ball, 1 strike. David Ross won a World Series with the Cubs in 2016. Now he's overseeing the rebuild at Wrigley. And no, not the ballpark. I'm talking about the product that plays between the white lines. Chicago comes in at 7-10 on the season, and they have Milwaukee next on their schedule. The Braves wrap up this series and make our way to Texas, and a date with the Rangers. The 2-1.
You can see just the control for Charlie is not what we're used to seeing.
'96 works usually.
And nothing wrong with that pitch.
And now a full count. Cubs have given Charlie trouble in his big league career, 4-6 with a 5.27 ERA. And that just missed. That grazed the inside edge, but he didn't get the call from Alfonso Marquez. d'Arnaud might be having a chat about that. And Morton with his second first inning walk.
That's a pitch we're used to seeing Charlie get, Chip. But again, look, d'Arnaud set up away. d'Arnaud set up away. The ball's on the inside corner, and he hasn't been around the zone. So, again, probably a pitch, if Charlie is getting after it early, pounding the strike zone, that's strike 3.
So 3 hitters up for Chicago, all 3 with full counts. And the inning continues for Wilson Contreras, the Chicago catcher, who had a double last night. Will Contreras finished the year as a Cub. There was apparently a lot of discussion about his availability before the lockout. Strong arm catcher, good power, wants to play every day.
That's the hard thing to me when you do a rebuild like that. You got to pick a couple guys that you're going to keep and really build around and have, you know, think about in Atlanta here. Freddie Freeman did that in 14, 15, 16. Seems Contreras is that guy for the Cubs.
Only Yadier Molina started more games behind the plate in the National League than Wilson Contreras. And Yadi might have him by 15 years.
Yeah, right.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves have a pull shift for the right-handed hitting catcher. The pitch. Skips up there.
See, with 2 strikes, he seems conscious to hang that curveball, and so you see him really trying to overthrow it and ends up really pulling it and spiking it in the other batter's box.
Darno wants him to throw it again. And he skipped it again. Snap throw to first, and just back safely was Happ. That was close. Page out of Contreras' book. Not a bad idea.
That's a good try. But now 4 hitters in the game and our 4th full count.
So with 2 outs, you figure Happ will take off. 25 pitches for Morton. Here's number 26. And it's hit in the air toward left center field. Ozuna going back to the edge of the warning track. He's got room. And that will retire the side. Well hit, but not well enough. Cubs get a couple of walks, but fail to score in the first. Couple of walks in the first inning, did not score. Let's see if the Braves can score first. They're 7-1 when that happens. And who better to get the party started than Ozzie Albies, who leads off the Toyota starting 9. Travis Demeritte was the hitting hero last night. His first homer in 3 years for Brian Snitker. Great story with Kelly and Travis after the game last night. And they'll face another guy who's an interesting story, Jeff. Mark Leiter Jr., who's pitching for Chicago because of injuries, but he's a guy that's had to wait a long time between major league wins as well.
Yeah, made his first start at Wrigley last week, went 4 innings, 2 runs on 3 hits. Not an overpowering guy. He only sits in the low 90s with that fastball. And he's got the cutter, curve, and change. A guy, like I said, 6 walks though in 7 innings. I think this Braves offense can be a little patient tonight.
Leiter Jr. has made 1 start against the Braves. He lost that. Tommy John surgery in 2019. Spent the 2021 season at AA and AAA. And because of injuries to Albert Alzolay and others, he's got a chance to rebuild his major league career.
And that was the big thing talking to David Ross the last couple of days. He said, you know, we're in the middle of the rebuild. Some of these guys are going to have opportunities to win spots. He was saying he had a talk with all the starting pitchers the other day and said, look, I don't want to take you out of the game. Give me a reason to keep you in the game later in the innings. And I like that. Challenge some of these guys.
1 ball, 1 strike. Cork toward right, but Suzuki glides over and makes the play. 1 out. Well, that challenge may have gone unanswered, and the reason Ross may have had that meeting, Jeff. Last 7 games, their starters are 1-5 with a 6.0 ERA.
Man, we talked last night. The bullpen for them has actually done a really good job of kind of bailing them out. But again, if they're forced to throw that many innings, eventually it's going to take its toll.
Here's Matt Olson. He was 0 for 4 last night. And that's popped out of play foul. Headed for the upper deck and off to our left. Fan from Sylvester, Georgia, made the catch. The 0-1. Line into the right field corner. Can he keep it fair? He can. That's a bullet. Suzuki over quickly, then bobbles for a moment, and Matt Olson dives in with a 1-out double. That got to the corner in a big hurry.
116 off the bat. You almost worried that it came back so quick. Suzuki was going to be able to throw him out at second. He bobbled a little bit. See Leiter trying to go in there. Chip missed right over the middle. And watch how fast this thing comes shooting back to him. And if he gets it clean right there, it could have been a bang-bang play.
But Olson in safely at second. First scoring opportunity for the Braves and Austin Riley. This is, Jeff, where the Braves, despite winning some games here and there, have had their problems at the plate.
Yeah, 1 for 19. their last 19 with runners in scoring position. Problem is, too, though, at times it seems like we haven't been able to get the right guys up with runners in scoring position either.
Austin Riley, 4 homers, 9 RBIs. The pitch. I was talking with Kevin Seitzer about Riley's start and frankly the whole offensive team. He said Austin Riley ought to have 8 or 9 home runs this year. He has 3 batted balls, Jeff, of 108 miles an hour, 1 at 109, and they aren't home runs.
Well, you know, the balls change. There's no doubt about it.
That's cut on late off the net.
I think it's hard, too, because a lot of these young guys, since Austin's been in the big leagues, you know, in 18-19, you know, there was a lot of talk how juiced the ball was. I mean, you remember the pitchers were griping, saying hitters were throwing their bats down thinking they popped it up and it went out. So for a guy like Austin, he's never experienced kind of what the balls might have been like in 16 and 17. Nonetheless, he keeps hitting it hard like that. He's going to hit his 30-35.
2 balls and a strike. This ball hit on the ground left side. Nice pick by Wisdom and a strike to first. No advance of the runner and 2 outs. Olson at second base. So you're buying it. The ball is not as lively.
Olson 116.8, hardest hit ball of his career.
He just hit it too low. He needs more launch angle.
That was a 2-iron stinger.
Yes. So it's fascinating. We'll see whether the humidors, the new baseballs, have an effect and whether that continues. Once the weather warms up, who knows what's going to happen. I think that's what we're all waiting for.
When the weather warms up, the ball will carry a little more. I mean, it tends to.
Marcell Ozuna, the hitter, with 2 outs. And I would imagine, too, Jeff, as a hitter, that's got to play mental games with you, too. You barrel a ball, you hit it exactly right, and you think that's 10 rows up, and it's caught on the warning track.
Yeah, look, it's different. And I know pitchers, I think, have said the seams are a little bit bigger, which I would think you talk to the majority of the pitchers, they like the idea of this having more seams. You can move it, get some serious movement on it.
But my question then would be, does that change the way that the ball feels off the fingers, and does that affect a guy like Charlie Morton?
Maybe for that curveball, because it's such a sharp curveball on a field pitch. But I would think for guys that want to throw 2-seamers, sliders, I would think it's an advantage.
1 ball, 1 strike for Marcell Ozuna, who's 1 for 3 in the set. The pitch into the shift. And that'll be out number 3. No shift. That's a hit and a run. Instead, the Braves are out of luck in a scoreless first.
Out on the bump. 26 pitches in that opening frame and still searching for that feel, if you will. And speaking with pitching coach Rick Kranitz this afternoon, he said he felt like Charlie made some big strides in his bullpen this week, just trying to get into rhythm. He's just not feeling quite like himself yet. Frenchie, I heard you say that. We haven't quite seen it yet. Lifting his leg a little bit, and he said both of them went back to video from last year. And Kranitz saying, no, I don't think he's as far off as he thinks he is, but we know Morton, a perfectionist, and certainly working his way through these adjustments right now on the mound, guys, because as Cranny pointed out, this would be probably start number 1 of the regular season had we had a normal spring training. So, you know, Charlie's still trying to find it out there.
Well, and you said it, Kelly, he's such a perfectionist, and at the end of the day, you know, I think he feels, you know, look, the Braves are at 8-10 right now, not the start they wanted, and he knows he hasn't been able to do what we're accustomed to seeing Charlie do. So I'm sure it's frustrating, but I also think he's going to turn it around here at some point.
Frank Schwindel is the Cubs' first baseman leading off, and this one hit into the shift as well. Ozzy's got that behind the second base bag, and there's out number 1. Well, your graphic in our open, I think, sums it up very well. New baseball mechanics, short spring training or not, Charlie Morton is a guy that last couple of years hasn't pitched badly, but hasn't pitched as well as he ends up pitching. So hopefully that turnabout is at hand here tonight. Patrick Wisdom. 10 runs in his last 10 games. This guy's a good looking player. Power hitting third baseman.
He's got a lot of pop.
.28 home runs last year. A Cubs franchise rookie record. And with a club as old as the Cubs and the historical figures that have played there, that is quite an honor. That record formerly held by Chris Bryant, who's now with the Rockies. And Morton falls behind him. 3 balls, no strikes. No walks in the game last night. Not a single one. Not by the Cubs, not by the Braves. Charlie walked 2 in the first inning tonight. One out for Wisdom, the 3-1 pitch. And that buzzed the tower inside. Third walk. So 9 walks for Morton in his last 3 starts.
Just not, like I said, not what we're used to seeing.
Good to see Jason Hayward back in town. So ironic every time you see Hayward in a Cubs uniform. This one on the ground and past Ozzie Albies. Wisdom around second. He's on his way to third. Cubs have him at the corners with 1 out. I was just about to say Hayward's first swing as a Brave was a home run against Carlos Zambrano. His first swing tonight, a sharply hit ball that Ozzie couldn't flag down.
Well, veteran hitter, knowing that you have a pitcher out there who just walked a guy for the 3rd time tonight, struggling with command. You see Charlie just kind of throws a get me over. And Jason puts it to right field.
That brings up Nick Madrigal, the Cubs second baseman, hitting .200 on the year. He was 0 for 3 last night. Anthony is a strike. Got to keep an eye on Hayward at first. He's dancing around the pitch. He is over but low. Madrigal acquired from the White Sox for Craig Kimbrell, who's now in the Dodgers bullpen. This kid was a terrific college hitter. There goes Hayward. The pitch was fouled, I believe. So Hayward will have to head back to first on a check swing. I think Madrigal tipped that ball and did. 1-2. That's a break. Cubs have 2 men in the top 10 in double play balls. Contreras 5, Madrigal 4. So hopefully Nick will oblige here. Chicago already 1 double play in the game. A strike him out, throw him out in the first inning.
I know that you got him 1-2. From a good off speed pitch and get a strikeout.
Another lead for Hayward, and this one on the ground, slowly hit. Gotta hurry. There's one. That'll score a run. That's all the Braves can get. As Wisdom scores on the Madrigal ground out, he puts it in play, and Chicago cashes in walk number 3 to take a 1-0 lead.
He got the ground ball, Chip, just wasn't hit hard enough to be able to turn 2.
This is something we talked about last night. This is a Cubs team that has to play this way. They value contact. They don't strike out a lot. And simply putting the ball in play for Madrigal earns him his 2nd run batted in. So 1-0 Chicago. Nico Hoerner is the hitter. I mentioned earlier the Cubs have 8 men on their injured list. One of them is former Brave Andrelton Simmons, who's got a bad shoulder. Plan was to have Simmons be the everyday shortstop and Hoerner backs him up. Well, the way Nico's hitting, Andrelton might have to sit a while when he comes back.
Yeah.
Hoerner at 327.
And when you're looking for offense and need that help, it's like the same reason Travis Demerit's back in that lineup tonight.
Off Morton's foot. Dansby on the ricochet. Long throw in the stretch. Got him. Great play.
Kick save and a beauty.
1-6-3. Hoerner is retired. Charlie Morton makes his way to the Braves dugout. The Cubs might challenge this. So far, no sign of that. Atlanta thinks they got him, and it looks like that's going to be the inning. So Chicago gets their third walk. A ground out makes it a 1-0 game, and the stretch saves the day in the Atlanta second. Travis d'Arnaud leads off the second. Chicago in front by a run. Dickerson and Duvall to follow as Leiter pumps over a quick strike. Last time Mark Leiter picked up a win, September 9th, 2017. I am told that is 1,671 days ago.
Wow.
And he leads the world champs here in the second inning. 1-0. And didn't like that result. Even count. d'Arnaud, a hot hitter for the Braves, a 5-gamer. 3 runs scored among 8 hits in that stretch. Got a hanger and pulled it foul.
He looks a lot healthier this year. Swinging the bat speed's back.
Can't imagine how hard it is to be a catcher. You tear the thumb ligament, miss 86 games or so, come back and have to produce. He certainly did in postseason play.
Well, and in this heat here in Atlanta.
Yeah. And he's our Who's Hot feature, brought to you by Texas Pete.
And 10 of the 12 games he's played sit safely in this year. He's hitting .357 here at home at Truist Park.
Driven foul and off to our right. Gentle breeze blowing towards center tonight in Atlanta. The pitch. One thing David Ross said about Leiter was, look, he's got experience. This is a young Cubs team. They like his grit. He will battle you. And he just plunked d'Arnaud. That one got away with 2 strikes, so a mistake. Let's see if the Braves can take advantage of that.
Well, last time we saw Travis get hit, it was with 52 miles per hour from D. Strange Gordon. This one might have hurt a little bit more.
He didn't go to the ground and play that one off, did he?
Right into the armpit there in that meat.
Leadoff man on for the Braves. Here's Alex Dickerson. Dickerson's one of the handful of Braves who is bemoaning the hard hit rate compared to the batting average rate. This one shot out of play, foul.
Yeah, both, you know, you look at Dickerson, you look at Duvall, both these guys have hit into some tough luck. I mean, look at the slugging percentage for Dickerson, 300 points compared to expected. Duvall about 100. So those are things that, you know, I think are so nice to have now that weren't around 10 years ago.
The old security blanket. Hey, I'm hitting the ball hard, right? And sooner or later you figure they're going to fall. What's so cruel and what's so funny about it is that the home run that Dickerson has, it was the softest hit ball of his big league career.
And he laughed the other day talking about that.
Right.
He said, he goes, that's probably the worst ball I've hit yet this year. And it happened to go out. And he said, that's baseball, you know, that's why you got to keep swinging. And he's got a manager that's going to continue to throw him out there with matchups like this.
Shift on, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That ball hit high in the air toward left, but that's going to be playable for Ian Happ, and Dickerson's retired for out number 1. Look, we are all about the end result. We're about
for sure,
batting average and the like. How much do you put into that expected batting average versus the reality of batting average?
Well, I think for certain guys, you know, it's going to a power hitter guy that hits the ball hard. I remember still 2-3 years ago, Josh Donaldson in 19, if you remember that. The first month he was hitting about $160, if that. And he told me, I've hit the ball the hardest exit velocity I've had in the last 7 years. You know, this year he said, I know it's going to start falling. And remember, who was it? Joe Musgrove with the Pirates hit him, remember? And it was like 2 nights later.
Game on.
He went off.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he said, I knew I was in a good place. It was a matter before it fell.
So what was your security blanket when you'd go through stretches like every hitter does?
But that's the tough thing. You didn't have that. You could feel like you're hitting the ball hard and someone could tell you that. But when you actually can see it like that, you know, okay, I'm in a good spot. You know, you just kind of got the old hang with them and keep swinging.
So there wasn't really anything other than video, I guess, right?
Exactly.
1 ball, no strikes.
And look, you yourself, to a certain extent, should be a good judge of how the ball's coming off your bat. I mean, you're the one feeling it off the bat. You kind of know the velocity it's coming off. Now, with that being said, when you get in a rut for 2 or 3 weeks, it can make you press. That's when you start expanding the zone. I think we've seen Duvall swing a little more outside the zone than we're used to lately. And it's, you know, you start thinking, man, I got to do something here to change things up. Whereas Donaldson, I remember telling me that I'm not changing a thing. It worked out pretty good for him.
2 balls and a strike for Adam Duvall, who bats for the first time. Adam's been a Cub killer over his last 4 games head to head with Chicago. Maybe the Chicago team will get him going tonight. That's hard hit but foul. And 2-2.
He's just a tick late on the fastball and a tick early on the off speed. He's right in between.
Is that a product of 2 fewer weeks of spring training?
You know, it can be, for sure. But whether you like it or not, it's the whole added, you know, thing. If you look up at the scoreboard and you see your numbers, but at the same time, he's 2-3 hit games away from hitting 250.
Darno the lead at first with 1 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I will tell you, I mean, like, I thought last night was a perfect judge if you talk about exit velocity. Braves smoked some balls last night. I was even talking to David Ross today, and he said that last inning with Stroman, I mean, those were 3 rockets to end that inning.
Right. And that goes to what we're talking about. All 3 balls were well over 100 miles an hour. Perfect launch
But
angle.
I think that's good because, you know, at some point you keep hitting it like that, it will find holes. It's not going to just be right at someone the whole year.
So a full count for Adam. Big hole right side. Runner holds the pitch. And he shoots it the other way. Good piece of hitting. Travis will throw out an anchor at second base as Suzuki got to it quickly. And a cue shot from Duvall has runners first and second, 1 out.
And that's another thing, though. I know you see the smile on him going the other way, but you can see got him out front. But look at it, there's 100 feet over there for him to do exactly what he did. You see the hole over there at second. I'm telling you, sometimes, Chip, even just that hit like that, all of a sudden your shoulders feel a little less heavy and you kind of can breathe a little bit.
Well, what a night for Winder, Georgia's Travis Demeritte last night. Didn't see Travis before the game, and if I had, I would have said, hey, did you find that lady's phone number and get her tickets for the game tonight?
I don't see her back down in that section, but maybe he's got her somewhere here.
What a great story. Fan watching the game, her first Braves game at Truist Park, said hit a home run. And Travis did. Breaking ball, fly ball, hit toward left. Happ going back at the warning track and hauls that in. That ball was smoked.
Yeah, I think this might have got in on him just a tad. I think 94 off the bat. We're just so used to seeing, like you said, the balls fly over in that direction. Even if you got jammed, you would see it. He didn't miss that by much.
So Contreras out for a chat. Demeritte jumped all over the first pitch. He knows Dansby's not afraid to ambush something. Let's see what they decide to do after this long meeting. Hit batsman, a one-out single, now with 2 outs. Dansby Swanson, who's picked up 4 hits and 4 runs on the homestand. Madrigal on the third base side is second, almost right behind the bag. Again, a huge hole for Swanson right side. And that was tipped on the way by. Strike 1. As you know, the defensive alignment gives the batter a great clue as to how they're going to approach you at the plate. They don't want Swanson to extend his arms and shoot the ball the other way. So he's down a strike with 2 on and 2 out. Both Morton and Leiter have labored here early. One ball, one strike. We've seen some unique defensive alignments for Dansby Swanson. They play him as a dead pull hitter on the infield. Look at the Cubs outfield.
Yeah. Well, you think about how many times we talk about when he gets going, where's that ball going? Right where Jason Hayward is, right over his head to that right center bullpen.
So line drive over Madrigal's head.
It's a triple.
And the Braves would be in business. 2 balls and a strike. And fouled away. It's 2-2. So the deuce is wild for the Braves number 9 hitter Dansby Swanson. Leiter ready. Here it is. Good take. Full count. Ozzie on deck.
Well, the good news here with the full count and 2 outs, the runner's going to be going. So d'Arnaud can get a little bit of a head start. So if Dansby hits a single, should score him easy.
So here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners go. And Dansby takes ball 4. They're loaded for Ozzie.
Well, this is the opportunity the Braves have been waiting for and really need, Chip, is guys on base for the top of this lineup. And you see right here, Ozzie and Matt Olson, perfect examples. 5th and 6th worst plate appearance percentage with runners on. Well, hence the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Braves this year, the 5th worst on base percentage. So they're just not getting lots of opportunities right now to drive in, and it's tough because then as a hitter, when you're not getting many opportunities, sometimes you try too hard when you finally do have the opportunity. And when things are going right for the Braves, you see this quite a bit throughout a game.
Well, to put that in perspective, Jeff, you're right. The top 4 hitters for the Braves have 16 home runs. They have 36 RBIs.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
So you're right. These are the situations you want. Bottom of the order feeds the top.
Yep.
And this opportunity for Ozzie comes with 2 outs after he flied out in the opening inning. And the Braves have what, 1 for 19 now, runners in scoring position over the last handful of games. And it's now 1 for 22, including tonight's play. Perfect chance to change that for Ozzie Albies. Braves hit 10 grand slams in their magical year last year. Ozzie Albies has 4.
I think this is also, Chip, a guy that you can be a little bit patient. You see him, he's not loving these situations right here. Force him to come to you right now.
Well, that was one of your keys.
Yep.
Make this man work, and they have 39 pitches. And that's cued foul. Well, that ball looked like it was never going to get to the plate.
No.
The old Bugs Bunny changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, 73-mile-per-hour curveball. Leafus.
And the Cubs already have action in their bullpen. We're in the home second. Bases loaded for the Braves. And 1-1 for Ozzie. Leiter ready. Here it is. Oh, what a rip. Center cut, and he fouled it off. Scott Effross is up first. So Ozzie's got to protect. Look at the lead at third by d'Arnaud. He's halfway down the line. And the pitch. Ozzie wanted to confirm it was a strike. The answer was yes. And we'll try again. Braves had a 1-out double in the first. Couldn't bring home Matt Olson. A hit batsman started this inning. A single and then a 2-out walk. And now Albies up for the second time tonight. Patience. 2-2. Ozzie Albies, the youngest second baseman in the history of the game, with 30 or more homers and 100 or more RBIs. A chance to pick up 4 right here. There are your runners. Good speed. Olson on deck. First the 2-2 pitch. Good battle here. And that's hit to the left side. Nice grab. Fan from West Point, Georgia.
Well, and that's one thing Ozzie as a hitter right now is doing a great job, Chip. Knowing, look, I don't think this guy's fastball can beat me. So he's seeing that curveball. That's why he's taking those 2. And he's fouling off that fastball until Leiter makes a mistake.
Get the sense he's trying to reel him in.
No, the more pitches you throw at some point usually works in your favor.
Little number back to the mound, and Leiter's going to get out of it. The Braves load the bases with 2 outs, but can't get the game tied. We're through 2. It's 1-0 Cubs.
And by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Braves had a golden chance to get the game tied, left them loaded in the 2nd inning, so Chicago leads 1-0. Hey, it's our pal Chase Elliott. He's in town. Chase was in the booth last year.
He was a lot of fun.
Great dude.
Big Braves fan. Dawsonville, Georgia.
You got it. The 2020 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Good to have him here tonight as we go to the top of the order. It's Rafael Ortega, who walked against Charlie Morton in the 1st inning. Charlie's thrown a lot of pitches, 41 of them to be exact. He's walked 3 hitters. One of those walks has turned into the game's only run. A shift for Rafael, and he tries to hit it over the shift, but off the net foul.
So last year, Chip, Charlie had a 37% swinging percentage outside the zone on his curveball. This year, 24. His curveball hasn't gotten worse. What I'm saying, his miss right now is too big. He's not on the dish.
What we call sometimes a non-competitive pitch, right?
Absolutely. So as he gets that more under control and can get it closer to the box on you see on TV just off either side.
And you can see the frustration just the way his mound presence is, snapping at the ball, trying to get that delivery ironed out. 2-2 pitch. And this one lifted toward left. Ozuna hustling toward the line. Still coming, sliding try, can't get it. It bounces off the warning track into the stands, and that's going to be a bloop double for Rafael Ortega. Marcel kept chasing it. The ball kept curling away from him.
I'll tell you something too. I think we should talk about the outfield defense playing deep. I think that outfielders, not just on the Braves, probably are going to have to make adjustments in the fact if the ball's not carrying as much. And I think that's why it's been a little, maybe for us watching, we've seen more bloops this year than in years past. And I think a lot of that ball like that's just not carrying, it's just dying out there. But these guys are used to playing deep because of what's happened the previous 3 years.
That's an excellent point. As Seiya Suzuki hits and takes a strike.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I'm so proud of you. All the homework you did tonight. You weren't out playing golf this afternoon. You were sitting at home.
Bingo.
Getting all the stats for the game. Ready to go for game 2. Truly impressive work. No balls and a strike. How to play foul. It's 0-2. It's interesting. I asked Adam Duvall that before the game. What's it like playing the outfield with these baseballs? He said, you know, it's funny. He said the ball comes off the bat, it goes straight up, and then instead of carrying that extra 10 feet, it's almost like once the ball reaches the apex, it drops straight down.
It just dies, yeah.
Just dies. And that might have happened to Ozuna there as this ball from Suzuki's foul 0-2.
Well, last night when Duvall doubled him up, he told me, he said, that's a ball that I caught that to me in years past has hit the wall. It's been a double to right center, and last night he was able to catch it and get that big double play in the 8th.
So obviously all of us in the game are going through a big adjustment with the humidors, the new baseballs. It is not nearly as lively as it has been in seasons past. No swing, 1 ball, 2 strikes. But to your point, Jeff, 7-8 years ago, the baseball was more like this one than the one we saw in 18, 19, and part of 20.
Pretty close right there. Almost got him. That's what a lot of these young, exciting players haven't experienced that. And like you said, so all of a sudden it's just been different for them.
1 ball, 2 strikes. So then it becomes an interesting philosophical question. Will players then, thinking that they're not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, revert back to putting the ball in play, hitting the ball the other way? And maybe even further, can they?
Well, they might have to. They might have to make that adjustment if they're not putting up the numbers that, you know, they're used to seeing. Some guys, again, to me, Riley, they're going to hit their home runs.
2-2 count. But yeah, middle infielders may not get to 25 or 30 like we've seen.
No, you're
everywhere.
right. So they might have to make an adjustment.
Suzuki battling tough. He's had a tough series. He is 0 for 5 and 3 double plays. The last one, a strike him out, throw him out. He'll try to advance. Rafael Ortega, who's at second with nobody out. Already 52 pitches from Morton. The 2-2 is low, full count. First 4 batters in the game went to 3-2, so a total of 5 full counts for Charlie Morton in 2+ innings tonight.
Just been out there and has had to work the whole night. Seems like he hasn't had an easy count yet.
And this guy, Suzuki, fouling pitch after pitch away, hoping Morton makes a mistake. Fly ball well hit toward left. Ozuna on the run. He's not going to get that. That's off the wall. Ortega's going to score, and Suzuki stands at second with a ringing double. His first hit in Atlanta. Back-to-back doubles for the Cubs, who extend their lead.
Yeah, that's what happens. Eventually, Suzuki has seen so many of those curveballs now in 2 ABs, Chip, from Charlie. And you see it. You see the break on it. We're used to seeing that dive down in the zone, and that just kind of floated.
Yeah, it's almost like he's in between with the pitch. It's either too sharp and almost hitting a batter, or it's flat
or
and
that
spins.
And when you get to 3-2 like that, Charlie knowing I have to throw a strike. This can't be buried in the ground.
So Seiya Suzuki has his 5th double, his 14th RBI. And Ian Happ, the hitter. 2 hits, a run in, nobody out. And a strike. No chance for d'Arnaud. That almost hit Happ on the way by. Wild pitch. I mean, Jeff, he's not just missing by inches, he's missing by multiple inches.
Look at this. I don't know how that didn't hit him. I'm sure it's so different for Travis d'Arnaud, who's used to setting up there behind Charlie and not having to move much.
The Braves infield comes in now as Happ wails away and pops that into the stands. A ball and 2 strikes.
And that's how you know Charlie's stuff is not biting the way it is. Only 1 strikeout tonight.
And it was looking.
Yeah.
Whoa, that almost picked off Contreras in the on deck circle. Let's see if Wilson moves a bit.
That'll get your attention.
To your point about Charlie's curveball, lefties have done good work against him and are perfect tonight. 2 for 2. The pitch. At the plate, but low.
Left-handed hitters off Charlie this year. 357 with 3 home runs.
Line toward left. Ozuna coming on. Chest high catch. And he won't make a throw to the plate as Suzuki hustles in. A line drive sacrifice fly for Ian Happ. It's a 2-run inning. And the Cubs lead by 3.
Look, Suzuki's fast, but I thought maybe you would see Ozuna try to throw it. Maybe he couldn't get something on it.
So 2 in, 1 out. Here is Wilson Contreras. He flied out to left. Remember, this inning started with that pop-up double by Ortega. Ozuna ran a long way, couldn't catch up to it. It bounced in fair ground. Suzuki doubled, took third on the wild pitch, and then Happ a sac fly.
Tried even mixing a changeup. You can see it on his face. He is frustrated right now.
Still a manageable game, but it's a struggle tonight for Morton, and that's low. 2-1 the count. Can't remember a game Charlie Morton's pitched with 66 pitches and 36 strikes. And a 5-pitch walk to Contreras. That's 4 walks for Morton. And let's see, it's Rick Kranitz who's going to come out and give Charlie a breather here. While they chat, let's enjoy a quick message from Texas Pete.
Welcome to the tribe. The Texas Pete tried and true. Texas Pete, sauce like you mean it.
Jesse Chavez, whom the Braves acquired from the Cubs last week, begins to heat up. Frank Schwindel, the batter, he grounded out his first time up. Charlie would love one of those here. If there is some good news at this point, it's that the Cardinals helped the Braves out. The Mets were beaten. It was a 10-5 final. The Mets most wins in baseball with 14 coming into play. They had a 5.5 game lead over Atlanta in the division. We will see them next week.
Well, I think that's the thing right now, knowing that you got Leiter out there and you've given yourself a couple good chances. The biggest thing I think Snit is going to have to do here is you see Morton already up to 69 pitches in the third. Try to keep this game manageable, as you said. Give your offense a chance to stay in this ball game.
Inside out swing and a base hit to right. The Cubs go first to third with one out. Sharply hit ground ball to right. Demeritte came up ready to throw, but Contreras, the Cubs catcher, still went first to third and made it easily.
Well, when you got a young team, you want your identity to be base running, and that's one thing that I say all the time. Aggressive base running, first to third, make that guy make a play.
So it's going to be an early hook for Charlie Morton. 70 pitches tonight. He just didn't have it. And hopefully Charlie will in his next start, which will come in New York against the Mets. Braves are down 3. Cubs continue to threaten. They lead 3-zip.
Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Short night for Charlie Morton. 2 1/3 innings and 3 runs. The men aboard are his responsibility. Let's see what Jesse Chavez can do. Braves acquired Jesse for Sean Newcomb last week. Brought him back. He was a big part of the Braves bullpen.
And I think it had got to the point, like you said, Chip, that Charlie just didn't have it tonight. And I think after 70 pitches, Snitzel, that nothing's changing this. So we might as well try to bring someone and get some outs and keep him in the game.
Charlie's shortest start since last May 7th, when he went 2/3 of an inning against the Phillies. So 2 1/3 tonight. 4 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks. 6 walks is a career high. And save some bullets for the Mets, which are coming up quickly. The pitch. Swing and a miss by Patrick Wisdom.
Well, we saw Chavez come in and throw 2 really good innings. What, 4 strikeouts, I think?
5 strikeouts.
5 out of 6
against Miami.
Yeah.
Strikeout or a double play would be nice. Wisdom walked and scored the first Chicago run. Pitch. Saw Jesse before the game and said, "Hey, how about that ring, huh?" He said, "Oh yeah." It was everything he could have possibly wanted. He said, "Look, I'd seen pictures of it and I'd seen the videos, but when he finally got to put it on the hand, it
became real.
A surreal experience for him." So congrats to him. The pitch is outside. Another full count. And 3-2. Let's see if they send Schwindel from first here. Jason Hayward next. Tell you what, the Cubs don't swing and miss a lot, do they?
Well, David Ross said that's one thing they really try to change. The last 2 years, lots of strikeouts. So we got to be able to put the ball in play. Like you said, they're making these pitchers throw pitches. They're fouling them off, spoiling good pitches.
So Jesse ready. Here's the 3-2. And he struck him out. Maybe we should say they don't strike out much. A few more times. That's the second of the night, but a big one here in the 3rd inning.
Well, now if you can get this out, you save a run, and I think that's what's so important. Like you said, when you finally yank Charlie, you don't love yanking Charlie. Snit wants him to stay out there for 110 pitches every game, but like you said, Chip, tonight just didn't have it.
So Jason Hayward, the batter, he singled on the first pitch and was forced out in the Chicago second. That's a huge stat for middle relief pitchers, right? First batter faced, because often you're coming in spots like this.
Yep.
And now it'll take a 2-out hit or a Braves mistake for the Cubs to add to their lead. 3-0. And he's attacking. 0-2 the count. Chavez, kind of a Swiss Army knife relief pitcher. He's started for the Braves. He's pitched big setup innings. Now he's on early, trying to get the Braves out of this mess. Runner goes. Pitch popped up left side. Riley over near the Cub dugout is going to have room. That one came back, and Jesse Chavez, a terrific job. A strikeout and a pop out ends the third inning. Elvis operator Howard Flip Feinberger, and like father like son, surrounded by all the beautiful ladies here at Truist Park. Time for the Braves to get back in the game. Matt Olson's going to go to work first. Jeff, that's part of our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Yeah, 2 guys here tonight, top 3 on base percentage. Olson's third in the NL on hits. Suzuki also leads the NL with a 197 OPS.
And you said the double off Matt's bat was 116 plus.
16.8.
An absolute rocket into the right field corner, but the Braves couldn't cash in that or any runs against Mark Leiter Jr., who pitched 2 scoreless frames. He gives way now to Keegan Thompson. This young man has done good work. 4 straight scoreless relief outings of 2 2/3 innings or more. And this young man's an important storyline for the Cubs organization. They have drafted very well. They've had some great players there, but they've not been able to develop a lot of homegrown pitching. Thompson's beginning to change that narrative for them.
2 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 hit batter. Leiter threw 45 pitches.
On the ground into the shift off the end of the bat, and Olson's retired. 1 out.
45 pitches.
They're going to make it a bullpen game the rest of the way.
So Thompson gets his first man. Here's Austin Riley.
Morton, 2 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 4 walks, 1 strikeout.
Bullpen games are awfully difficult, I'm sure, for hitters to be effective in, because the games feel like they have no flow.
Yeah.
You might get 4 at bats against 4 different guys, which is why it works so well. That's bounced foul and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Cubs bullpen has been good. A 2.47 team ERA. Entering tonight, they've thrown 69 innings. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the Cub alignment. And Thompson ready with his 1-2 pitch. Beautiful night, except for the score to this point. Good crowd here for game 2. We had 31,000 for the opener last night. The pitch. What do you think we got tonight?
I'm going to say 30,692.
Okay, 30,692 for Jeff. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Riley, and that one was off the plate, and Austin will take first, a 1-out walk. That'll make the crowd of, I'm going to guess, 32,148. I'll ask our producer Gretchen Caney to make a guess in a second, as Marcell Ozuna's the hitter. He grounded out to second his first time up. Gretchen guess is 36,112. Ozuna didn't get it. Swing and a miss. Hal, what's your guess? Hal's busy counting each fan as a statistician.
Place only holds 41, Hal.
No balls and a strike. The pitch. Hal's guess A little low. He guesses 29,169. We'll see who comes closest. You're in game 2 of our 3-game set with the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ozuna. He's overdue to unload. Let's see what he can do. The pitch. And Thompson floats that in. Ozuna's last homer came against Yu Darvish out in San Diego. That was on the 17th. Big hole right side for him with 1 out. And a cue shot in front of the plate. Contreras thought about second, but whips it to first. And Schwindel's. Did you see that?
Wow.
He said, ow. That got him right in the pocket. A perfect strike for out number 2. Riley to second. Watch this. That might be the best fastball we've seen tonight.
Painted.
d'Arnaud got painted his first time up, hit by a pitch. Braves won for their last 22 with a runner in scoring position. Another shot for d'Arnaud, strike 1. Kid's got a nice arm. Throwing strikes. 15 pitches, 10 have found the mark. And now the 0-2 pitch. Little tapper up the middle, might have kicked off the pitcher's glove, and the flip to first is in plenty of time. The pride of Coleman, Alabama. Keegan Thompson has a good 3rd inning. He protects a 3-0 lead. Braves baseball on Valley Sports is presented by Truist with Jeff Rancour and Kelly Kroll. The rest of our fantastic Valley Sports crew in Atlanta. The Cubs chased Charlie Morton after 2 1/3 innings with 3 runs. That's your score as we enter the middle innings of game 2 of the series. Jesse Chavez, the first Braves reliever on for Brian Snitker. A strikeout and pop out ended the Cubs' 3rd. Now Jesse faces 8, 9, and 1.
And get a quick inning. Get in there. Cubs been spending a lot of time in their dugout relaxing.
Madrigal, a ground out, picked up the first RBI of the game. And an even count. The 1-2 pitch. Right down Peachtree, and Madrigal caught looking. So Jesse's faced 3 hitters. He's struck out 2 of them.
Now he's come out throwing. He's pounding that outside part of the zone. Paints him right there. Gives Alfonso Marquez a good strike 3 call.
And you know there's got to be a little extra adrenaline here. You always want to do well against the team that traded you, don't you?
Of course.
Here's Nico Horner. And Nico takes outside, ball 1. Horner, a first rounder by the Cubs. And that one lined into center on a 2-0 pitch. This guy keeps hitting.
Yeah.
And for a young player in a big city, big market, with a big name player injured, he is making the most of his chance.
Well, that's what Schwindel did last year. Remember, midsummer started hitting. You talked about it yesterday. And
here we are. It's the 4th inning, and Ortega's uniform is filthy. He's had a nice night. He's walked, he's doubled, he's scored. The Cubs are Rafael's 5th major league team. He started out with the Rockies back in 2012. In their organization, then to Texas, the Cardinals. Played in the minor leagues. The Angels. Jeff mentioned that huge grand slam against the Dodgers, one of the great moments in 2019. Rafael was with the Braves in 2020, didn't play due to the COVID pandemic, became a free agent, and then the Cubs signed him in February of 2021. And he goes down on strikes. Chavez, another punch out. That's 3 of them now in an inning and a third.
5 out of the 6 he faced, the other for the 5 out of 6 outs. Just attacking that zone and getting ahead. And then one thing he does so well is just painting corners. He works the hitters inside and out and can hit the black.
Seiya Suzuki doubled home a run in inning number 3. Single run in the Chicago 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. Nothing happening in the 4th at this point. The Cubs have out-hit us tonight 5-2 to this point. The pitch. There's that corner. One ball, one strike. Runner goes, and the base hit to right field. Horner never picked up the ball. Now the relay throw is going to nail him at third. The ball was in right field. It was behind him. He never picked up the ball. He stood at second base, then broke to third, and the Braves gunned him down.
What a break. Maybe a break they needed. Maybe they can get some guys on now.
Base running mistake. 3-0 Cubs.
Newly renovated Delta Club, the Delta Sky 360 Club, right below us here. 18,000 square feet. All-inclusive club at Truist Park. Living the life of luxury is Bree and all her friends here this evening. The best part about this, because of the epic comeback that is on the way, you don't have to miss any of it if you're in these nicely padded, comfy seats, because you've got Yasmin here to get your food and your beverages, and she's doing a heck of a job here tonight. What do we have, Yasmin? Some blue cotton candy. That's what you were wanting, wasn't it, Bree? What else? Oh, some hot dogs. Bree said she was out on the hot dogs, guys, so we're going to pass those along. What else do we have? Popcorn, everybody's favorite. Frenchie, you like a box of those before every game so it gets stuck in your teeth, and the Cracker Jacks. I'm telling you, this is a place to be, isn't it, Bree?
It is. Thank you.
The Delta Club. All you have to do to know about the seating and the availability, just go to braves.com/premium, guys. See, we already got hits. You don't have to miss those when you're in these seats.
Keep going, Kelly.
Yeah,
maybe
should,
that's good
right?
luck, right?
That's all I got.
Those
I'm
fans look like
tapped out of good luck now. But Bree's enjoying the blue cotton candy. She did not want pink, guys. So Yasmin hooked her up, as she would anyone in these seats. Right, Yasmin?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, guys.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, everybody likes blue cotton candy, not the pink.
Yeah.
So a great choice. They're having a great time in the newly expanded Delta Club seats.
Maybe we should let her keep going because
I just said that. Yeah, it'd be great. Got a rally going after the Dickerson hit. And that one cracked by Adam Duvall off the netting foul. No balls and a strike. Braves have scattered 3 hits tonight, 2 singles and a double. They've gotten a walk or 2 and a hit batsman, but haven't been able to put much together. As we take a look at our Yellowwood feature tonight, Adam Duvall bringing the lumber against the Cubs.
Hey, you're hoping when you saw that would be what could heat him up. Well, his first AB got the little single to get himself going. Just smoked one down the left field line, foul. Hopefully it's something that he can get going. 12 career home runs versus the Cubs, tied for second most for him.
Rolled foul at third. For the Braves, Gold Glover Adam Duvall playing center field. It'll be interesting to see how the Braves align their defense when Ronald Acuna Jr. comes back. And we're hoping to see Ronald perhaps in the next week to 10 days, if not sooner. He's supposed to play, I think, 7 innings tonight, 9 innings tomorrow.
Well, he'll be slotted in that right field spot, especially coming back from that.
Point of that was not so much Ronald, but how Snit
it does the
plays
rest
everybody
of it.
else.
Yeah, for sure.
Colin McHugh is getting ready. Both teams, after very crisp pitching last night, have had a lot of base runners here early this evening. The pitch popped up. Long run Wisdom. Wynn trying to push that, foul, but not foul enough. He makes the grab over the tarp.
And that's the thing, Chip, when things aren't going your way at the plate, instead of blowing out foul in the second row, it gets caught.
Travis Demeritte, he flied out his first time. Jumped all over the first pitch with 2 on against Leiter. Thought he got it, but it left the bat at 94.
Yeah. I tell you, you agreed. It sounded great off the bat and looked like a home run in the bullpen, Cubs bullpen.
That's into the Cubs dugout. No balls and a strike. Here were the heroics last night for Travis. Our trip around the bases brought to you by Destin Fort Walton Beach.
We got a Stroman cutter out over the plate and lined it in the right field for his first home run since 2019. And made a great defensive catch in the 4th.
Keegan Thompson from Coleman, Alabama, and Auburn. The pitch is low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Cubs got him in the 3rd round back in 2017. Had a little excitement a couple of weeks ago. Threw behind Andrew McCutchen to the Brewers. Thompson was fined and suspended 3 games and appealed that suspension. 2-1. Hit high in the air toward left center field. That ball is going to be caught by Happ on the warning track.
Man.
102 off the bat. 24-degree launch angle and caught with 3 steps to spare. 2 out.
Backup curveball. You see, he appreciates it. That's the Cubs. They're playing really deep out there in that outfield. Happ in left field. You can see, I mean, he's almost to that warning track. So a ball that usually to me is a double, it's getting caught.
So DeMera 2 flyouts. Here's Dansby. He walked in the Braves' second.
It's a good job by Dickerson too, rounding the bag and then making sure he touched the bag on the way back. I know it sounds elementary and most guys know it, but you'd be surprised how many guys forget to touch the bag.
Poor Michael Hermosillo last night needed a day off, didn't he? He was running all over the place on the bases and in center field for Chicago. And Dansby takes one right down Broadway from Thompson, and that will retire Atlanta in the home 4th. It's 3-0 Cubs in game 2. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Truist Park. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Busy night for the Braves bullpen. Jesse Chavez an inning and 2/3 with 2 hits and 3 strikeouts. He now gives way to Colin McHugh, who has the 3 4-5 hitters in the 5th.
And he really has been 6 games. You see, he's had 2 bad outings that have cost him with that ERA. Last time wasn't able to get out of it. So for him, could use a good couple inning outing here and keep the Braves in this ball game.
Ian Happ starts things off and fouls one back. Happ has walked and has hit a sacrifice fly. Yeah, McHugh's been scored upon in his last 2 outings. 4 runs in an inning and 2/3. There's a good breaker. It's 0-2. As I told you, the Cardinals helped the Braves out tonight. They beat the Mets 10-5. Tempers flared in that game. Mets have been beamed a lot this year.
Yeah, they haven't been too excited about that.
No, I think they've been hit 18 times. And they threw up and in on Nolan Arenado, who didn't like that. Benches cleared in St. Louis.
I didn't think it was that up and in to warrant. Not to mention when your guys have gotten smoked.
That's something else that's interesting. Chris Bassett, now with the Mets, has talked about how different the baseballs are and that it's a struggle for him to have feel with where the pitches are going.
Well, he can sit there and say that, but it doesn't look like it to me.
The way he's pitching. Nope.
So I don't know about feel.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Happ. Nobody on or out. And this one is hit to the right side. Riley calls off Olsen, and that extra play allows Happ to fly down the line. And he's aboard with a single to start the 5th.
Yeah, this is a ball that Matt Olson's going to look back and wish that he went ahead and took this ball. As you see, he's right there. And Colin McHugh would have gotten over Happ with good speed. And with Riley having to kind of speed turn like that, a second late. It's kind of like the sticky stuff last year. I as a former player, you hate that, okay, they're changing it in the middle of the year, or balls like this that you come to spring training, but eventually it is what it is.
Everybody's playing with the same equipment.
That's what I'm saying. It might take some adjustment, but at the same time, it's been done before, with different things getting called on you in the middle of the season or whatever. I think the big thing when you talk about throwing in like that, I just don't think, this day velocity is taught so much, and it's not a bad thing. But with velocity being taught like that, some guys, to me, can't control that inner half of the plate.
Yeah, velocity at the cost of command is certainly a big problem, as that's upstairs. Remember last year there was the complaint about pitchers feeling the baseballs were very slick.
Yeah.
Because of the banned substances, the spider tack and the like. If you notice behind the mound, there are 2 rosin bags.
Yeah.
One, we're told, has rosin. One has an approved tackiness substance that the pitchers can use. 2-0 pitch. He is popped out of play.
I think where the players are frustrated, and I completely understand this, maybe a lack of communication. Letting guys know what you're doing. Home runs have been way up. We're trying to get the ball and play more, some defense stuff. Whatever the thing is, just communicate it, I think.
I just think it's kind of funny that baseball said, look, we're not going to allow any sticky substances, but now they have a sponsor deal where they're allowing sticky substances behind the plate with the rosin.
Certain ones.
Yes, right. 2 balls and a strike for Contreras. 1 on, nobody out. And a beauty.
I heard Pedro Martinez's take on it, talking about pitching inside. He said, when I used to pitch inside, I made sure if I missed basically kind of from the letters down. And I think that's the problem now. People are missing way high.
Well, there was an art to it.
Well, there was. And with velocity now, like I said, you don't have time to get out of the way at 97, 98 coming up and in.
I think, like I said, the Mets have been hit 18 times. I think Alonso had his helmet broken. He wasn't hurt, but certainly a scary scene for the Mets first baseman. As McHugh, a 3-2 pitch to Contreras. Runner goes again, and this one popped up into right. Demerit's going to have plenty of room to make the play, and does for out number 1. So here's what happened in St. Louis today. The Cardinals beat the Mets 10-5. And you see Arenado saying, okay, pitch inside. And you're right, it wasn't very close.
I did not think that warranted that. But I'm also not against it. I enjoy a good brawl.
Here's Schwindel, runner at first, 1 away.
Someone got yanked down there.
We're told it was Pete Alonso who got pulled to the ground. So we'll see if any fines or suspensions come out of that mess in St. Louis today.
I think a couple of those guys should probably be suspended 4 games starting Monday.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So the Braves open up their series in New
really?
York.
They do?
Doubleheader on Tuesday, day game Wednesday, then back home.
There's your 4 games.
Yeah. I'll vote for you for commissioner. Like the way you think. 2 balls, no strikes. Jammed him, and Ozuna will make the play. 2 out. And Patrick Wisdom has walked, scored, and struck out is next for the Cubs. Braves will have the top of the order coming up in the 5th inning. Need a spark. It's, as I said, just a 3-run game. Just past 9 o'clock Eastern time. And you as a hitter know, I would assume, right? Pitching inside with a purpose and a guy that's trying to hit you.
Well, yeah, no, for sure. And like I said, for Arenado, whether he thought that ball was up or not, I mean, his team has hit the Mets quite a few times the last few games.
A 1 pitch. 0-2. McHugh's got a good frame going.
Did you see what I was saying? I didn't think it was that far inside.
It wasn't.
Not to.
So I'm not sure why Arenado would be so upset.
Yeah.
You know, the old.
You know, it's like anything though. Sometimes, you know, when that ball comes up there, even if it gets in, it seems like it's right there on you.
No balls, 2 strikes. That's where I really agree with Tony La Russa, and he has said this about many a pitcher who has hit his players shoulders high or higher. He said at this level that should never happen.
Yeah.
There should be enough command that a pitcher shouldn't miss that badly and jeopardize a player's health and safety. And I agree with him on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch is high.
And that's where the game changed so much again, Chip. It's a game of velocity more now. You still have your guys that can paint, your Jesse Chavez that you've seen tonight, but majority of guys, and majority when I say this, out of the bullpen. Majority of those guys are big arm guys,
right,
that can let it go. And I just don't think they have the experience. And now with COVID shortened season a couple years ago, you know, guys miss time.
Whole left side of the infield thought that was strike 3. Instead, it's another full count.
Pretty good job laying off that pitch. It was definitely off the plate. I thought he had him leaning.
So Happ will be off to the races here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wisdom digs in. There he goes. The pitch popped up. Demerit is over and under it, and that will retire the side. Nothing happening in the Cubs 5th. Top of the order for Atlanta. Albies, Olson, and Riley. 3-0 Cubs lead. Braves down 3. Top of the order coming up in the home 5th. This is going to be fun, folks. Braves country. It's going to be Friday the 13th in the month of May, and it's Star Wars night at Truist Park. Your ticket package features a Boba Fett and Braves co-branded blanket. You can choose between 4 different seating locations. Go to Braves.com/Star Wars for the ever popular Star Wars night, Friday, May 13th. Albies, Olson, and Austin Riley are coming up. Keegan Thompson looking good. 33 pitches, 22 strikes. And that's corked over the netting and off to our right. For Albies, now a 1-1 count. That fan came away with a souvenir. And high ball 2. When Ronald comes back, you know he's going to lead off. I think the other thing that will be interesting is how Snit shuffles his batting order. Ozzie Albies a 30-homer, 100 RBI guy. I would think, Jeff, he's going to be moved to a run-producing spot rather than batting first.
Yeah, I think you'll see him slotting that 5th. I think Snit would love to put him 6th behind Rosario when he was here because you force the pitcher's hand. But now I think you'll see him slot behind Marcel.
2-2 pitch. And lifted out of play, foul. And as we said, that lengthens and deepens the lineup and gives your bottom half a chance to get back to Acuna and
Big
Olson
time.
company. which when it has flowed, it's looked very effective even without Acuna. But tonight it's been a struggle. Just 3 hits. The pitch. And Albies down on strikes for out number 1.
Let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud tonight. Matt Olson, absolutely crushing right-handed pitching. See that, Chip? Over 110 miles per hour on 6 of them this year. Tonight, his hardest ball hit in his career, 16.8 down the right field line. Second in baseball with hardest hit balls, the amount, only behind Giancarlo Stanton, which he's going to have that every year.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Yes. What a great start he's off to here in Atlanta.
Man entered play tonight on base 35 times. He made it 36. With that first inning double, he was tied with Juan Soto of the Nationals.
What I love is that spray chart too. Not only how hard the ball's hit, but you saw it everywhere. Up the middle, left center, right center. You know, I think people see Olson, big guy, you know, the bat out there, long swing. Think, oh, maybe like a Joey Gallo who's going to hit, you know, 35, 40 home runs. Well, Matt gets on at a high clip and can hit for average.
He's at 338 in the average column, 2 homers. But again, to your point earlier, 6 RBIs. Braves have the 4th highest difference between their actual batting average and what their expected batting average would be, which is an indicator of bad luck. 2-2 count. And that was close. 3-2.
Good eye.
And so if you believe that there is going to be a progression or regression to the mean, sooner or later these hard hit balls are going to start dropping. No time like the present for Olson as he takes ball 4. That's the second walk from Thompson. It comes with 1 away, and Austin Riley is up. That's the man Thompson walked back in the 3rd inning.
Well, and offensively for the Braves tonight, not a whole lot going on, but you're still 1 swing here from a 1-run game in the 5th inning. So again, I think that's why you saw Snit go down to the bullpen early tonight after 70 pitches from Morton. He realized he doesn't have it. Keep the score at 3 and let my offense have a chance to climb back in this game.
Yeah, the Braves have had at least 1 base runner in every inning. And 1 here in the 5th as that one sprayed off the Braves dugout netting. Strike 1. Huge gap in left center for Riley if he can pull one. A lot of room on the infield between 1st and 2nd. He took a shot at right and fouled it away. It's 0-2.
Yeah, I tell you what, between Dansby, same thing with Riley. They're playing a massive shift in the outfield. I mean, Jason Hayward, look how far over he is. He's lined up with the Braves bullpen.
And Riley fills that hole. Thing of beauty. Just the 2nd hit for the Braves with a man on base tonight, and with 2 strikes, that's exactly what you love to see a big league hitter do.
And exactly what you just said, Chip. With 2 strikes, I don't expect you to go up there first pitch and look, a guy with his power to just give yourself up and shoot that hole.
Right.
But now you got 2 strikes. He fights it off, and it, you know, for Austin, he's so good with handling the bat. You know, it's almost a free base hit for him. And now you give Ozuna and d'Arnaud a chance to get you back in this game.
1 big swing ties it up. See if the Braves can get a couple of big swings going here in the 5th inning. 2 on, 1 out.
And get the fans into the game.
Yeah, it's been awfully quiet as a pickoff play nearly nailed Matt Olson. Braves are 1 for their last 24 with a runner in scoring position. Ozuna has grounded out twice. Cubs might be taking a look at that play at 2nd, but they will not challenge. A long way to go tonight always wonder in a situation like that with Riley, or when your offense is not doing a lot, does the hitting coach say, hey guys, shorten up, hit it to right?
No, not really.
Don't really talk to you
I
that
think,
way?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Popped up. Infield fly will take care of Ozuna, and that's the second out.
You watch enough film and these guys talk enough that, you know, I think each guy has their approach. I think after an AB, you might, you know, talk to them. You know, what if you try, you know, look, if they're trying to do this to you, you know, have an approach back to them. But once you get in the game, you kind of want to let these guys go at it.
So d'Arnaud, the next man in the box, he's been hit by a pitch and he's grounded out. 2 on, 2 away now. Olson, the lead runner, has a good lead at second. The pitch is a little low. Good rip. 1-1. Efros is up again. Little flare into shallow right center. That's going to drop. Olson around third. He will score. Headed to third is Austin Riley. And the Braves get a big hit with a runner in scoring position. Jeff, and they're right back in the game.
You know, Travis d'Arnaud, we've talked about what a great year he got off to. And here, another example of shooting that ball to right field. Was able to, didn't necessarily hit it hard, but got an off-speed pitch. Let it travel and get the Braves on the board.
Olson with the big lead was able to score easily, and Riley with an excellent view of that angle goes first to third on a soft single. So d'Arnaud, his 7th RBI, and Tommy Hotovy, the Cubs pitching coach, out to talk to Keegan Thompson, who has Alex Dickerson ready to hit. But before Alex stands in, let's enjoy a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
So the Braves can take the lead with a long ball here. Dickerson is 1 for 2 tonight. They give him the whole left side of the infield. And pitched him that way. 1 ball, no strikes. There are your Braves base runners. Here's your 1-0 pitch.
Might be right guy up at the right time. I thought the last 2 games Dickerson's taken some pretty good swings. Tonight a good single and just missed his first time up on a ball to left center.
They're coming inside the 1-1 and got away with 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves cash in a 1-out walk. They are 2 for their last 26 with a runner in scoring position. The degree of difficulty higher here for Alex with 2 outs. And the pitch is cut on and missed. And that will retire the side. 3 strikeouts for Thompson, but he is giving up the game's first run to the Atlanta offense. 3-1 after 5.
for the Stripers, who have moved to the bottom of the 8th, and Acuna was in right field in the top half. Worth mentioning, only because the Braves' plan originally was to have him play 7 innings tonight and 9 tomorrow. So you would think, gentlemen, things are going pretty well, but it's all about how his body will respond after back-to-back days. And then, of course, they'll reevaluate that timeline, but Ronald Acuna Jr., his return is nearing.
7 hits, 6 walks. I'd say that's excellent work.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Kelly said it. You start looking at the timeline. I mean, here at some point, you need to get him back in this lineup up here at the big leagues. They could use a little spark. And he's ready to go.
Jason Heyward leads off the 6th inning. Heyward 1 for 2 tonight. Great to catch up with Jason briefly before the game. Jason's been around a long time now. He hasn't changed a bit.
No.
One pitch. And a tapper foul. Said mom and dad still watch all the Braves games. They're at the ballpark tonight. His brother's still playing. Said at Richmond. So good to catch up with Jason briefly before game 2. A ball and 2 strikes. And Heyward didn't get that. McHugh has his first strikeout. Good start to the top of the 6th inning.
Well, even as Jason's gotten older, his offense production has gone down. But with that being said, still an elite defender out there and a great athlete.
Yeah, you know, it's funny when you think of Jason as a corner guy. In some ways, his numbers were quote unquote disappointing. But as a center fielder, you don't expect the same kind of power, the same kind of RBI totals as you would a man playing left, right, first, or third. At least the way the National League game was played
yeah.
pre-DH. Madrigal 0 for 2. One of those 0-fers turned into the game's first run. Back in the 2nd. And an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves have 12 outs left. They're a bloop and a blast away from tying this game. McHugh, the 2nd Atlanta reliever. If you're just joining us, Charlie Morton started. And it was apparent from the very first couple of pitches he was not comfortable. Could not command his curveball. Jeff threw 70 pitches in 2 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs.
Well, and the first 4 batters for him, all full counts.
Yeah. Quiet night for the Braves offense to this point. A run on 5 hits. Travis d'Arnaud with a 2-out single brought home Matt Olson. And a hanger is whacked into left by Madrigal. He's going to reach with 1 out. Ozuna picks that up and slams into the outfield fence before hustling the ball back into the infield. And Madrigal is aboard with a 1-out double.
Yeah, that's a hanging breaking ball there from Colin. I don't love the pitch. He'd been beating him on fastballs and he was fouling everything off to that right side. And it's kind of sped his bat up for him.
So Nico Hoerner is your batter. He's 1 for 2. There's that fastball. The old down and away strike, which the Braves rode to 14 straight division titles. Best pitch in the game, if you can throw it there. And McHugh did to get into the count. Hoerner, the number 9 hitter for Chicago. Driven toward right. Demeritte near the wall, and he runs out of room.
I thought he had a beat on it. It kind of kept just drifting away from him slowly. Got to about the 2nd row.
The flags show the wind blowing right to left, but maybe it's gusting into the Hank Aaron Terrace and then swirling around the grandstand out toward right. So a break for Horner. It might have banged up his wrist slamming into that wall. Keep that in mind if the ball is hit to right. Now the 1-2. That bounces away. Runner's going to move up on a ball in the dirt. Now a fly ball could give the Cubs an insurance run.
Oh, great read by Madrigal at second. Saw this ball just get away from Travis and he didn't hesitate at all. Watch this. Gone. Now you got to bring the infield in.
And a 2-2 count to a hot hitter, Nico Horner, who has 10 hits in his last 5 games. Check swing, little soft line drive to Dansby Swanson. Infield in, might have saved the Braves there.
I was going to say, you don't see that every day. A little check swing where shortstop has to come charging.
So Dansby bursts Horner's bubble right off the end of the bat. It was like a little 60-degree wedge.
The infield's back. That's a base hit for sure.
So McHugh has the second out, back to the top, and Ortega. He's up for the 4th time in the first 6 innings. Strike one. Perfectly placed. It's 0-2. Oh, nice play by d'Arnaud. That gets by him. Madrigal might have tried to scamper home. Just never broke. The 1-2 now. Popped him up. Austin Riley at third makes that play, and the Cubs waste a 1-out double. All right, Braves come up, lower third, down 2 in the 6th. The Delta Sky 360 Club is Truist Park's 18,000 square foot all-inclusive luxury club. It's almost as big as Jeff's house. Now features 6 chef-driven action stations with rotating selections of ballpark staples to international trends, 3 grab-and-go markets, and a candy wall. Oh, that looks good. Be the first to know when seating becomes available. Join the premium priority waitlist at Braves.com/premium.
We need one of those candy walls up here.
Yeah. I like the charcuterie plate. That looked pretty good too.
That's more your style.
Yeah.
Classy.
I don't know about that. Scott Effross is the next Cub pitcher. He's off to a good start. He debuted last season, so he's a seasoned big leaguer now. 14 relief appearances in 2021.
Only one walk this year. He saw it to 8 strikeouts.
Adam Duvall greets him first. Different arm angle. And Adam bangs that foul. Steve Reich one. Effross is a Hoosier. Played at Indiana. He's quickly become Hal Galima's favorite Cubs pitcher.
Yeah, right.
One ball, one strike. Braves need a base runner and a blast. We're in the home 6th.
That's a tough pitch there after seeing 2 balls way in off the plate. Painted up and away.
The 1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Braves have only struck out 4 times in this game, but Effross gets Duvall for his first. And here's Demerit, who's played pepper with Ian Happ twice in left. Travis trying to keep a 3-game hit streak alive.
He's had 2 good at bats tonight, though.
What's the biggest challenge for a right-hand hitter against a guy like this?
You got to pick a either location or pick a pitch. You know, you're not going to be able to cover the whole plate on it. Not from that angle. I mean, like anything, you got to tell yourself, see it away, out over the plate.
That was out over the plate, and a great diving stop by Schwindel at first. He robs Demerit of an extra base hit, perhaps. Spectacular play, 2 outs.
Well, that's 3 times tonight Travis could have had a base hit. What a play here. That's a double for sure if it gets past him with Merritt's speed.
And even Schwindel was saying wow to his teammates. He should. His swing looks like Paul Goldschmidt. That play reminds you of Paul too. And Demerit
just shake his head. What do I got to do?
No luck at all. Great play. And Dansby the hitter. Dansby took 3 fastballs and was retired last time. He's also walked.
Yeah, that's at bat. He obviously was looking for something other than the fastball, or at least was having trouble picking him up.
High fly ball toward Hayward in center. And Effross will have a perfect 1, 2, 3, 6th. Thanks for joining us. 3-1 Chicago the lead.
Braves Baseball is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Braves are down 2. We've completed 6 innings on Valley Sports here at Truist Park. Jeff Kelly and Chip with you. A.J. Minter is the 3rd Atlanta reliever to work. Let's check out our Georgia Natural Gas Impact Player of the Game.
They have bullpens and most Ks, 82 strikeouts from the relief corps, most among NL teams. And look, the relief ERA is 4.19, Chip. But if you take away a couple guys on the team that had a couple of appearances, the rest of the bullpen has a 3.36 ERA.
And this is why Brian Snitker likes his bullpen. Even in a game where your offense is struggling, these guys have a chance to shift momentum into your dugout by shutting down the other team's offense.
30,362, 30362.
That's the voice of the baseball gods, Jonathan Kerber, with our official attendance tonight. 30,362. Hal Galima is our winner. He didn't go over. He guessed 29,169. So 30,000 plus here. Hal's on the board.
Did the old Price is Right $1. Smart move. The old vet.
Seiya Suzuki the first for the Cubs, and Minter drops that in for a strike.
That's the hard thing. It's like Jansen's ERA. What, when he came in last night, was it 4 or 5? You know, I mean, he's been outstanding other than opening day where he gave up 3 runs. So we knew this bullpen was built to close games. And look, with the stuff they have, they're going to rack up the strikeouts.
And look, you want to close the game in this regard. Don't give the Cubs anything else the rest of this night.
Yeah, you got 9 outs left. Should get at least 2 cracks at the top of the lineup unless you go 9 up, 9 down, which we're hoping doesn't happen.
Exactly. Really impressed with Suzuki. Yes, he struck out some in this series. Yes, he's had some double play problems, but in tonight's game, he has really seen a lot of pitches. This will be his 5th against Minter to start the 7th. And he skipped out of the way of that.
David Ross said the one thing he loved about this kid too was the fact that he's in the middle of the locker room with the guys. Might not understand everything that's being said, but he's working hard, communicating, really has kind of taken to this team.
Met him yesterday. Great sense of humor. As that's taken outside. And again, this is a guy that dealt with an awful lot of pressure playing in Japan. When you are compared to a player as great as Ichiro in any way, shape, or form, that's an incredible compliment. And now playing in Chicago, that's not going to intimidate him either. Payoff pitch. And again, he fouls it away. You can see how he fits right in with this Cubs offensive philosophy, Jeff. Fight, fight, fight. Make the pitcher make a mistake, and when they do, jump all over it.
Yep.
Again, a 3-2 pitch. In the air to right, but right at Travis. And Suzuki is set down. There's out number 1. Hope you'll stick around for the stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas. The guys will get us set for the 3rd game of this series. Hopefully the Braves will have a chance to sweep it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Send Kyle Wright to the mound.
Get a chance to get back to 500.
But some work to be done tonight, so we'll look forward to the stretch. Here's Happ. He's been pesky. A walk, a single, a sac fly, and an RBI, plus a couple of terrific catches. In the Cubs outfield, switch hitter, batting right-handed, and takes Powder River for a strike. Like when AJ attacks, his stuff is good enough to be a big league closer.
Yeah, I think you still go back to that NLCS, what, game 5 when he struck out 7 of 9 Dodgers. His whole thing's always been staying within himself.
1-2, base is empty. The pitch just missed.
Best thing for him was, I think, last year when he finally got sent down to AAA. Just, you know, whether it was a wake-up call or gave him a chance to kind of pitch without that pressure of everything, where he really refined his windup, his delivery, and he came back up and was outstanding.
And it happens. You love it when guys come up and stay here forever. Sometimes you got to go back and reset.
Yep.
And he has been outstanding since that stint in Gwinnett. Another foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one hit to the right side, and a battle for the souvenir. That was a great catch. Fan from Cave Spring, Georgia, made that play. Two balls, 2 strikes again for Happ. Didn't chase. The Cubs don't fish. They make you throw the ball to the plate. And Contreras is lurking with 1 out. Ball 4. He didn't chase it. And Happ's aboard for the 3rd time in the game.
Tough, I'll tell you what. It might have been just a little bit low, but that's a tough pitch for Happ to lay off.
Well, let's see if Contreras can hit the ball on the ground. He hasn't yet tonight. 2 flyouts to go along with a 3rd inning walk. Chicago got a 2nd inning run, 2 in the 3rd. It's been a problematic stat for the Braves. When they score first, they're 7-8. Excuse me, 7-1. I beg your pardon. As this one's rolled foul, they're 7-1. When the opponent scores first, they're 1-9. They've not been able to muster much offensively and come back. Now, some of those games were out of control games, but even in one like this, just getting that offense well lubricated and rolling cleanly has been a real problem. In the air to right, over near that wall again, but Demeritte is going to have room to haul this in. 2 outs.
Which is something that's usually different with this team. This team we've seen come back a lot of times here over the years.
Here's Schwindel. Great play to rob Demeritte of a hit. His 3rd inning base hit extended a road hitting streak to 10 games. And as we told you last night, this guy's a really good player that not many in the National League regions outside Chicago have heard much about. 91 hits for Schwindel, 2nd only to Riley and Freeman for most hits since last July 30th in the National League. Trey Turner and Paul Goldschmidt also on that list, but behind Schwindel, who now has 92.
Well, that's how you find yourself in the middle of a lineup. Great cutter.
Happ has a good lead. He takes off, got a great jump, and Schwindel mad at himself. Happ had that base stolen.
Yeah, thank God he did that. He would have walked into second base.
Memory serves, Minter does not really relish throwing to the bases. So even though he is left-handed and gets a look at that would-be base stealer, they're still able to get a good lead against him. 0-2, 2 outs. And strike 3 over the outside corner. Nice job by A.J. Minter. Time for the Braves bats to go to work, but first it's time for the stretch.
The Stretch is brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Welcome into the Stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Trevor Scales, Nick Green, Peter Moreland outside here with you. And fellas, the Braves will go for either the series win or sweep against the Cubs tomorrow. I like it. I like it. Now, Kyle Wright going to be a major part of that as the starting pitcher. He's 2-0 on the season, Peter. How do we go to 3-0 for him?
Well, it's been such a luxury to watch Kyle Wright, and especially with the way that Charlie's had the up and down season that he had, to throw in a Kyle Wright as your third starter. And honestly, he's a bit of a stopper. He's been the most consistent guy this year. Improved velocity on his fastball, improved movement on his curveball, improved confidence. He's a different guy this year. Can't wait to see him win it again tomorrow.
I just love watching this kid pitch. You say Acuna is the guy that you don't want to miss the at-bats for. Well, Kyle Wright's that guy for me on the mound. I love the stuff, the confidence there, the swings and misses there. By the way, since 2019, 2 Braves starters have 20 or more swings and misses. He had 20 last time out. Ian Anderson back in September had 20. These numbers, 106 ERA, .76 whip, strikeout rate 39%. Kyle Wright will get more swings and misses, and those numbers hopefully continue to stay as good as they are.
Not a single barrel allowed. You'll see us here tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, with the little covers of Braves Live. Let's get to bat to some more Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
Ready to play ball with a new gas company? Georgia Natural Gas knocks it out of the park with simple service and great rates. And when it comes to helping the environment, GNG's Greener Life program makes it as easy as paying your gas bill. Sign up with a home team today at GNG.com.
Series ring here last night along with Drew Smiley, and he was grinning ear to ear, as you could imagine.
How could you not when you see that,
yeah.
Ray?
And Chris hasn't seen a lot of action yet. Heck, nobody really has out of any big league bullpen. But when Martin is right, he is as tough as they come. A big, tall righty, Jeff, that I would think makes you feel like the ball explodes.
Well, I think the Braves should have a decent scouting report on him, knowing. But like I said, he's going to try to hit corners. And like you said, it all, when he's right, he's tough.
Chris, last year with Atlanta, 46 appearances and a .395 ERA. Look, this is still anybody's game. Braves are down 2. As Jeff said, they've got the top of the order coming up. Get a couple of runners, you turn the lineup card over, and Ozzie will get a second chance in the 9th. But let's see if we can take care of business before that. Wisdom, the lone Cub, on the left side of the infield as Ozzie takes a sinker in for a strike, and that's Martin's game. Efros worked a perfect 6th for the Cubs with a strikeout. The pitch is too high. Morton, Chavez, McHugh, and Minter in relief for the Braves.
And they've done their job. They've kept the score right at 3.
William Woods on a big league roster for the first time. He and Will Smith are throwing. Woods took the roster spot of Eddie Rosario, who had his eye surgery today, we understand. Hope it went well, Eddie. We miss you. Get well soon. Ozzie 0 for 3. Tantalizing pitch off the plate.
Yeah, I mean, that's two splitters this at bat, a cutter, fastball, kind of what we've seen in the years past, just trying to get ahead and then get you to chase off that zone right outside.
That's off to our left and into the stands. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Olson and Riley to follow Ozzie Albies in the home 7th. Braves have beaten the Cubs 6 out of the last 8 games head to head in this ballpark. They'd like to improve that late tonight. The pitch. And on the ground into the shift. And the rover takes care of Ozzie Albies for out number 1. So Albies 0 for 4 after the 4-3 put out. Here's Olson. He's doubled. He has grounded out, walked, and he's the only Brave to score.
And really, him and Riley tonight are the two that have been on base both 2 out of 3 times and given a chance to Marcell Ozuna. Just have not been able to get that big hit after that.
Missed his spot. Might have had the plate, but didn't get the call. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, Alfonso Marquez behind the plate, Chip, veteran umpire. He's a guy that, one of those that if you're setting up out and you hit it in, he's not going to give it to you majority of the time.
That's been a good hitter in the late innings. With that swing, 2 balls and a strike. .412 batting average from the 7th inning on. For Matt Olson. Thank you, Hal. The 2-1. Just a touch early. And Olson is down on strikes. 2 up, 2 down. Austin Riley, the final hope in the Atlanta 7th.
Well, that's what Chris can do. 3 cutters in a row at 90, 91. Then that splitter to get him out front and then beat him to 95 with the spot. Look, there was no doubt when Chris was on, Chip, he was on. The question is late for the Braves, he could stay healthy.
So a new opportunity for him in Chicago. And Riley, the batter, he's reached base twice. And a cue shot right back to the mound. Martin's got it, and the flip to first will end the Atlanta 7th. Frustrating night for the Braves bats to this point. It's 3-1 Cubs. Well, this is a special moment for the pride of Trenton, Tennessee. William Woods, living a dream that so many kids have. He is making his major league debut tonight against the Cubs. A 23rd round draft pick by the Braves back in 2018.
A day you'll always remember. Only 23 years old, too.
He'll face Patrick Wisdom, Jason Hayward, and Nick Madrigal in the Chicago 8th. His first pitch as a big leaguer is upstairs at 96. Woods, they tell us, was a starting pitcher, and once they moved him to the bullpen, command got better, velocity got better, and the results have followed, and here he is. There's his first strike as a big leaguer. Nothing wrong with the arm. He's throwing mid-90s.
Oh, getting thrown in there in a 3-1 ball game.
No better opportunity to see what a kid can do in meaningful innings in his first game. Hold him there and see what happens. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This should bring back some memories, Jeff. Your big league debut came against the Cubs, too.
Cubbies, yep. Second game of a day-night doubleheader.
And a big league strikeout for the first batter for William Woods. How about that?
High fastball, 94. Might have been a little bit out of the zone, but got him to chase and gets his first strikeout. Hopefully, of many more to come.
That ball will head to the trophy case. Boy, you think of all the Little League games, the travel ball games. And that one, I'm sure, a very meaningful souvenir for William Woods. Kelly, as he's in the baseball encyclopedia forever tonight.
Something else. Already pitched in AA and AAA this season, young season. And yesterday showed up to Gwinnett, and in a coaches meeting they were laying out the pitching schedule for the week, but looked at him and said, yeah, but you're not going to be pitching here. And he's like, what do you mean by that? And he goes, you're headed to the show. He said he started freaking out. His first call to his granddad, Jay Dunnigan, who is here tonight, guys, says he's raised him since he was 2, and that's when the emotions really started to hit him, because he took him to all the lessons, all the practices, everything. And he goes, I don't know that he thought I'd get this far, but here I am, and I am so thrilled to be here. And I could see his bottom lip quivering as he was telling me the story, you guys, today. So the emotions certainly out there on the mound. I can only imagine what he's feeling right now.
Yeah, for sure. I bet you when they told him that, he was mad. He's probably thinking, I got to go back to Mississippi. I just got up here.
Yeah.
But no, you're going one above that. So congratulations to him. And what a moment.
He just walked Jason Hayward with 1 out. How did you get the phone call to your summons to the big leagues?
Well, I was actually at a Japanese steakhouse. We're having a few cold ones.
Why does that not
We got rained out in Montgomery, Alabama. I was with John Sherholtz, you know, who's not senior, obviously, but one that works here with the Braves, and we play together coming up. There's about 6 of us. And I put my phone, actually, Snick called, and I just sent it to voicemail because we were eating, you know, having a good time. And he finally called me again. He said, I think you're going to want to come to my room. So I walked over there, and him and Phil Wellman were sitting there with a Bud Light and had one cracked open for me. And we celebrated, and then I went outside and called my mom and dad.
And was your lip quivering when you called mom and dad?
I mean, that was exciting. JJ Picola, who was minor league assistant at the time, drove me home, got home at like 1:30 in the morning, the day-night doubleheader the next day.
And you will be eternally grateful for Glendon Rush.
Yep.
Right?
And he always lets me remember.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the great shots in that game. You hit the home run, your mom and dad, the whole family were here.
Yep. Everybody was there. It was, you know, like you said, you tell all the young guys when they do that the first time, you'll always remember that more than anything else is your first game in the big leagues.
And
think about Miguel Cabrera the other day, 3,000 hits, but I promise you that first hit he got, it's the best thing that he ever felt.
And
Did the game feel like it was going a million miles an hour when you first got here?
Yeah, it did. You know, it was actually nice because the first game I got to sit in the dugout and watch because it was a day-night doubleheader. So it actually, although the anticipation was building, it was nice to kind of get to watch a big league game.
Plus, your teammates had to get used to your charming personality, too.
Exactly right. Yeah. About the second week, Bobby. I'm not going to put you on the bench anymore. You annoy me too much. Just walk up and down.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Play me, Skip.
Yeah, it worked out well. The pitch is outside to Madrigal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I love looking at these guys when they get here. Like you said, first hit, first strikeout. How many will they have?
Yeah, you never know, and that's the great thing about this game.
Important spot for William Woods.
That's what Brian Snitker says now, you know, and AA, AAA, it's a little easier. You get to tell most of the kids you're going up, you know, to the big leagues.
Right.
He's like, tough job now, spring training, telling guys they're not going to do it. But everyone, you know, once in a while you get to tell a kid he's made a big league opening day roster. And he said those are the moments you don't forget.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Madrigal. In the air toward Demerit. That should be a can of corn and is. There is out number 2. There's the Woods family, grandma, grandpa that Kelly was talking about a moment ago. Look at their smiles. Think of all the miles they put on the station wagon.
Exactly.
Take William to practice and games. It's their dream too. So Nico Horner stands in the way of a clean inning or scoreless inning for Woods, and he's going to have it with this catch in foul ground. Welcome to the major leagues,
yes,
William Woods.
Good
First
job.
strikeout and a goose egg. He's made Tennessee proud tonight. Now the Braves bats go to work in the 8th, down 3-1.
Wi-Fi, unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Special night for William Woods, his major league debut with his first major league strikeout. Now he'll turn things over to the Atlanta offense, which trails by 2 and has 2 innings left. They will face a veteran reliever, Michael Givens, formerly of the Baltimore Orioles, the Rockies, and the Cincinnati Reds. We'll tell you more about Michael in a moment, but first, a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
As we told you, the Cubs bullpen has been one of the strengths of their team. It has proven to be the case so far tonight, and Givens has had a big hand in that, Jeff.
Yeah, he's got off to a great start this year, the big righty. He's already had 3 holds and a save this season in his first 7 appearances.
5 innings of 1-run ball for their relievers. And that one slings in for a strike for Ozuna. It's 0-1. Tough night for Marcel. He's 0 for 3.
And you see the windup kind of funky. That's what you don't see that a lot of times, kind of crossfires at you.
Ozuna has not faced Michael, so he goes to work without a whole lot of history. 1 ball, 1 strike. After Ozuna, d'Arnaud and Dickerson are due.
And that's the thing. It's just Braves have not been able to do much, but still a 2-run ball game. Very much.
Yeah.
In this game.
The Braves have had a base runner in every inning of this game with the exception of the last 2. 7 straight hitters have been retired. But Atlanta's bullpen has held up its end of the bargain too. Cubs led 3-0 after 3 innings. It's been a struggle since, and it continues to be for Ozuna, who is 0 for 4, 1 out. Here's d'Arnaud. He's the Lone Ranger in the RBI column tonight. A 2-out 5th inning single brought home Matt Olson. Remember, the Braves had the bases loaded earlier in the game.
Yeah, they had a couple chances there early to break through. Let's see what that windup, what I'm telling you, it kind of comes at you side slider, and then of course you saw that last pitch to Marcell Ozuna, 96 up in the zone.
5 of the 8 men left on base for the Braves in scoring position tonight. Another slingshot right there. It's 0-2. Well, you can see how this combo for the Cubs would be pretty effective. You've got Effross with his sidearm, then you come to Chris Martin, then this guy Givens with a peekaboo delivery. Kind of a Louis Tiant action as he turns his back to the hitter, and the Braves aren't picking him up. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Dave Ross feels good about his bullpen. This guy, you got David Robertson in the 9th, trying to catch kind of lightning in a bottle for their guy to have been able to stay healthy, but he's 4 for 4 on saves this year.
So another challenge for Givens, this time a left-hand hitter, Alex Dickerson, who has a 4th inning hit, 1 of 5 safeties for the Braves in the game. That's smacked into the right field corner, but pulled too foul. At 107 off the bat, but needs to straighten it out.
Just out in front.
0-2. Chicago will have the top of its order in the 9th inning. 3-1 game. And a ball and 2 strikes. After the Cubs series, the Braves face the Rangers, who are trailing tonight 4-2. They have their annual Battle of Texas with Houston. I think they play for the Silver Boot. There's another one pulled foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll get our first look at the Rangers' new ballpark in regular season play. The Braves have played there. That's where the postseason bubble was in 2020. And the reviews I got were it is a spectacular facility.
Yeah, good spot.
1-2 pitch. That's it the other way.
And it's really not that their old stadium was that old or anything like that. It just, when it's 120 degrees outside, it's tough to sit and watch a baseball game.
Used to watch Pudge Rodriguez catch a 9-inning game, 109 degrees, and then afterward go in the tunnel with a medicine ball and throw the ball 10 feet up on the wall and do squats. Remarkable.
Yep.
1-2 count for Alex Dickerson, who wants time and has it granted. Kyle Wright and former Brave Drew Smyly finish up the series tomorrow night. First pitch 7:20. As Givens holds and delivers. Young fans may not remember the reference to Louis Tiant.
Oh yeah.
Cleveland Indian, Boston Red Sox. Native of Cuba, still a legend in that island. El Tiante.
Yep.
A great piece of hitting for Dickerson. Serves it through that wide open hole left side, and now the Braves, Jeff, bring the tying run to the plate.
At 81 exit velocity. Maybe he just needs to get jammed more.
Try easier.
Don't hit it as hard. What a great piece of hitting. Work the count back to 2-2 after fouling some off down the right field line. And pass the baton. Like you said, you need runners. You're down 2. Now you give Adam Duvall a chance where maybe he can break through with a big swing.
Adam Duvall looks for his first hit against Givens. He's got the right side to play with. And almost hit him. 1 ball, no strikes. Adam has a hit in 3 tries. As Jeff pointed out earlier tonight, 4 homers, 11 RBIs in his last handful of games against the Cubs. That got Contreras and hurt. Even count.
Oh, on the inside of the foot.
It always seems to find the unprotected spot.
Yep.
Outfield playing no doubles for the Cubs. Room in right center if Adam can hit a line drive that way. Short lead at first for Dickerson. The pitch. And Duvall now down to his last strike. Last year, this is where Adam shined so brightly for the Braves offense. Can he and Atlanta come back with 4 outs left?
Yeah, last year he was so good with 45 RBIs with 2 strikes last year, led the National League.
The 1-2 in the air toward left. Happ on the run. He slides. Did he catch it? No, it's trapped. Dickerson on his way to third. Ball gets away from Wisdom. Backed up by Givens, and Duvall in at second with a 2-out hit. Heck of a play by the pitcher to see that ball ricochet away. If he doesn't get it, that may end up in the camera well, and the Braves would have gotten a run.
Yeah, definitely trapped it, and you could tell because Happ gets up and throws it right away knowing. Good call by the umpire. Tough to see that sometimes. And good hustle by Adam Duvall once he saw him throw to third. Chip made sure he got to second. 2-hit day for him, and that gets him going.
And if anybody deserves a little
bleeder,
repay,
a bleeder over the first baseman's head with 2 ribbies.
Would be Demeritte, who's 0 for 3, robbed by Schwindel last time. Crowd finally into the game in the 8th. Ball 1. And as you said, get a base runner to at least turn the lineup card over for the 9th.
Yes. Give them another opportunity. If you can get a hit here, then you tie the ball game up with the top of the lineup coming up.
Back-to-back 2-out hits. The Braves are looking for their first win of the season when trailing after 7 innings. That is something this team specialized in their 4 division championship winning years. They've got a shot to get it tied here with second and third, 2 outs. 2-0 pitch. Took his shot, didn't get it. 2-1.
Good healthy hack. 2-0. Got ready for the fastball. I don't mind that in this situation right there. You got a guy feeling good at the plate and got a good pitch to go on.
Two balls and a strike. Now it's 3-1. So Demeritte trying to spoil the best laid plans of mice and men. Swanson waits next. At the very least, you'd love to bring him up with the bags full. But Demeritte way ahead in the count. See how selective Travis is here. 3 balls and a strike. Ball 4, they're loaded. And Tommy Hotovy, the pitching coach, out to settle down Givens. That little bleeder by Alex Dickerson may have messed up Givens' mojo. With 2 strikes, Dickerson just served a ball through the open hole on the left side. Duvall, a sinking line drive dropped, and now a walk sets it up for Dansby Swanson with the Braves down 2 in the 8th.
Well, great AB. Took a good swing at a 2-0 fastball, fouled it off, and then the discipline in a 3-1 pitch to spit on a fastball in.
So the meeting is over. There's no place to put Swanson. Again, the Braves had the bases loaded in the 2nd. Dansby's 2 grand slams last year came with 2 outs. And as you can see, a .311 average with a runner at every base.
This is by far when we've seen Dansby do his best work in situations like this, where he really locks in.
Ball 1. Wonder too if that scramble to save that loose ball took a little steam out of Givens too. We shall see. Fast runners aboard for the Braves. You hit one down the line, Atlanta's going to run forever. The pitch. Slider strike. Braves trying to snap out of a 2 for 26 quiet spell with runners in scoring position. Here's their chance.
Good eye.
Contreras tried to steal a strike.
But Alfonso Marquez had a good strike zone behind the dish tonight.
So Dansby's gotten ahead in the count. Dickerson at 3rd, Duvall the tying run at 2nd, Demeritte at 1st. Oh, what a cut. But he fouled it straight back. So Dansby took a slider for a strike, laid off a slider that was tantalizingly close to the plate. What do you think he gets with a 2-2? Let's find out what Contreras puts down.
Throws that slider. He better not hang it or back it up.
So here we go. The pitch. Downstairs. Ball 3. Everybody will be off with the pitch. Now the ballpark's loud. Here it is. Shot to right field, base hit. 2 runs will score. Demeritte on his way to 3rd. Dansby Swanson comes through. He ties this game in the 8th.
Well, great piece of hitting. You know, everybody wants that big blast in that situation. Chip, we've been waiting to see this from Dansby all season. The ball to right center, taking it that way. They're giving you the huge hole. Duvall, him, both come up with big hits here in the 8th.
Givens looked unhittable with the first 2 batters. But as I said, Jeff, I think that Dickerson single to left stunned him, and he wasn't the same guy.
Nope.
And the Braves took advantage with 4 straight batters reaching base. A 2-run single turns out the lights on Michael Givens and ties the game in Atlanta. Truist Park was quiet for much of the night, but it's not quiet now. You see that, you hear that on our live cam, brought to you by Xfinity. The Braves down to their last out in the 8th inning. Have gotten a single, a double, a walk, and a 2-run game-tying hit from Dansby Swanson to tie it up 3-3. David Robertson is trying to close out the 8th.
Yeah, David Ross went to his closer, trying to keep this game tied.
Ozzie took a shot, didn't get it.
Slider, cutter. About a 7-8 year period, one of the best setup men in baseball with the New York Yankees. Went to Philly on that 2-year deal and just was not able to stay healthy in Philadelphia.
So the Cubs took a flyer on him.
There's never been a question on his arm.
No balls and a strike. Slide step and a pitch that just missed, I guess. Robertson wanted that.
Yeah, he was not happy. Cutter in at 94.
A hit gives the Braves the lead. A ball that gets by Contreras might give the Braves the lead. Demerit 90 feet away. The pitch. Little roller slowly hit towards second. Quick toss to first, and Robertson got the ground ball out and got the Cubs out of the 8th. But with 2 outs, the Braves find a way to tie it up. We go to the 9th, 3-3 game. Mobile coverage cam. How about the Braves in the 8th inning? 4 base runners in a row reach with 3 hits. All 3 hits with 2 strikes. There's the reaction as Dansby Swanson hits a ball through the right side to bring home Alex Dickerson and Adam Duvall and send this game, Jeff, to the 9th inning, tied at 3-3.
The thing the bottom of the lineup did last year, they were really good. We talked about with 2 out, 2 strike RBIs. Got it done so far. Now you get Kenley Jansen in the game, face top of the lineup.
And that'll be Ortega, Suzuki, and Happ. Jansen 6 hitless innings pitched since his first appearance as a Brave here at Truist Park. So the all-important leadoff man is Rafael Ortega, who's doubled and scored to highlight his night. The hit by Swanson, a huge one. The hit by Dickerson and Duvall, also important. As important tonight, the fantastic work by the Braves relief corps again in this series.
So they have kept the score at 3 since Charlie Morton went out in the 3rd inning, giving this Braves offense a chance to catch back up.
Ortega out in front down the right field line. He's behind 0-2. And not just tonight for the Braves pensmen. They were excellent last night, backing up Max Fried. I'll show you those numbers in just a moment. If the Braves can pull this one out, they would win the series. They have not yet won a series in 2022. And they'll have the right guys coming up in the 9th. Olson, Riley, and Ozuna with a 3-3 score. They've evened up the Cubs in the hit column and the run column. 3 runs, 8 hits for both of these clubs tonight. Straw came out and Ortega knew it. Kenley Jansen painting corners. There's the first out.
That's what's so tough. Came in with those cutters, Chip, and then look at this pitch. Just right beat to the spot on the outside corner. As a hitter, you have almost no chance to pull the trigger on that pitch.
Don't you love it when the catcher throws the ball to third almost before the umpire makes the call?
I don't need you to make that call. We got it. Ortega knew it. He was walking back.
So Seiya Suzuki is the hitter. 2 hits and 4 trips and a run scored. Suzuki did not see Kenley Jansen. And here's what the Braves bullpen has done in this series. 5 2/3 of that work has come tonight. That is cued foul by Suzuki. You get him to 2 strikes, though. He, at least tonight, has fouled off 3 or 4 pitches before the appearance is resolved. Let's see what Kenley has for him. Jansen, the 6th Braves pitcher to toil tonight. The 0-2. Kenley thought he had him struck out.
Good call by Alfonso Marquez, just off the plate. Actually just saw Kenley kind of point his chest like, my bad.
So the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes in the Chicago 9th. Ian Happ will be the 3rd Cubs hitter of the inning. And here we go with Suzuki again. He gets to 2 strikes and then the battle begins. David Ross and his Cubs had a 3-1 lead. Bases empty, 2 outs in the 8th. But Givens could not shut the door. The Braves get a 2-run hit from Dansby to tie it up. And here we are with Kenley Jansen in the 9th. Popped him up. Matt Olson in shallow right. 2 men are down. Here's a quick message from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no. Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
He's relentless with that slider cutter combo. He just keeps coming at you and eventually just jammed him.
And look at how efficient. 2 outs, 10 pitches, right?
Yeah.
Around the plate. And 2 or 3 of those were fouled off with 2 strikes.
Yep.
Let's see if he can take care of Happ, who's walked twice. He's singled and he's knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly. Three career at bats for Ian Happ against Kenley Jansen. He's got a single. Oh, nice soccer move there from Kenley Jansen. You see that?
Yes, I did.
Left foot volley back to the ball boy. And you might want another baseball here. That one's not to his liking. Watch this.
Pretty impressive. Went pretty far for a baseball.
Sure, the guys at Atlanta United saw that play from the Braves closer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fly ball left. Marcel is there. Time to walk off. Right guys at the right time in the bottom of the 9th inning. Matt Olson will get it started. Then Austin Riley. Then Marcell Ozuna. Terrific game. Braves rally late. It's 3-3. At 7 walk-off wins last season. And it's there for the taking. Robertson, a tough customer. Don't misunderstand. But you've got Olson, your 2-hitter. Riley, your 3-hitter. Ozuna, your cleanup man coming up in a tie game.
Hey, you got the guys you want right now coming up. But again, yeah, you saw Robertson, what he did to Ozzie. Tough. Really what it is, tough guy to get good wood on a lot of the times because of that cutter. And he's relentless. He's kind of like Kenley as far as that cutter goes. But again, you got 3 guys coming up that with one swing can end this game.
Big shift on. How about one into the chop house? That would be nice. He tried and didn't get it. Strike 1.
And dropped a curveball on him first pitch.
Trying to tie him up inside and missed badly there. It's an even count.
How many times have they locked horns before?
Just a couple of times.
Yeah.
That's 0 for 2, I believe. Yes. A couple of strikeouts and a walk. And another nice breaking ball. The scoreboard calls that pitch a knuckle curve.
Yeah, 3 straight.
So he's had in the count. And then he chased one in the dirt, and Contreras will make the peg to first. And that's out number 1. Austin Riley, the batter. He's 1 for 3 with a walk.
Sometimes it's easier as a right-handed hitter to hit David Robertson. You get that cutter going away from you, gives you a chance to get extended. Whereas those lefties is, again, he keeps coming in and then that slow breaking ball.
Well, we've got 2 right-hand hitters coming up next. First is Austin Riley. Popped up and headed for the stands.
See the difference? That ball was hanging and Austin got a good swing on that pitch.
Austin Riley would love his first regular season walk-off here tonight. The pitch. That one hung, and he fouled that off his knuckles out of play. 0-2.
6 pitches now this inning. We haven't seen the fastball cutter from David Robertson yet.
I think you throw a fastball at this team at your own peril. So we'll see what he does. 0-2. There was. Pushed him off the plate.
More for show.
Big gap in left center if Riley can hit a hanger. As Robertson ready, and the pitch.
I'll say that though, Alfonso Marquez, I know I said it, he has been so consistent with that pitch on that outside part of the zone. He didn't give it to Jansen. He didn't give it to Robertson either.
Riley's battled back to an even count. No swing. 3-2. Braves will take a base runner of any kind.
And see, with that knuckle curve, he'll speed it up. He's throwing the 80, but he'll also throw it at 85, 86 like that. A little more of a slider type.
So from 0-2 to 3-2 for Austin Riley in the bottom of the 9th. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. And Marcell Ozuna is the hitter. He's 0 for 4. This would be a good time for Marcell to get the ball out of the infield tonight. no history with David Robertson. From a straight fastball, and he took it 0-1.
You sit there on deck and you watch the guy in front of you and you see him get curve after curve, and then he gives you that first pitch right down the middle.
Popped up. Schwindel avoids the umpire and gets to the warning track, and it's in the netting. Hey, that fan made a nice play. But it's 0-2. He's taking a shot at right.
That's kind of the thing right now. To me, look to that right center gap with that cutter, and then if he throws that curveball, even if you're out in front, Marcel chip so strong, he might be able to get enough on it to put in the left field bleachers.
Again, the 0-2 from the Cubs righty, and a good take. Well, the Braves know, and the Cubs know too. Atlanta's two-strike offense was magical in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 strikeouts to start the 9th, and Marcel awaits the next. Here it is, and that one chased in the dirt, and Robertson's going to strike out the side, and we've got extra innings in Atlanta. We'll break down the extra inning rules when we come back to a 3-3 tie. Has been brilliant since the 3rd inning. They've allowed just 4 hits. In fact, over the last 3 innings, they've only allowed 2 base runners. So Matzek in the 10th will automatically be out of the stretch. The ghost runner rule is in effect this year. The man that makes the last out in the 9th inning is placed at second base to start the 10th. And so Matzek will have to face Contreras and company with the go-ahead run at second base. You like the ghost runner in the 10th inning, or would you rather see baseball wait an inning or 2?
Tonight I'm okay with it.
Well, pace of game, time of game notwithstanding.
I told you again, I would like to play 1 extra inning at least the normal way and then go to this. But that being said, it's the 3rd year now doing it, so.
Yeah. So it's fascinating to see the strategies that a big league manager will employ for his offense. You know, Hamp's a fast runner. You've got Contreras up. Braves play him as a pull hitter, and he's 0 for 3 with a walk. This is where the beauty of the Braves offense comes into play. With Jansen, with Matzek, and others, you've got a whole host of closers that can shut down an offense. But Snitz had to use Chavez, McHugh, Minter, Woods, Jansen, and now Matzek in game 2. Out of play, even count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, you're kind of in that mode now. You're going out to win a ball game. Because you got to believe Jansen, Matzek now at this point, both those guys, good possibility, Chip, they're down tomorrow night.
Yeah, both pitched in game 1. And don't forget, we've got a series in Texas and 4 games in 3 days in New York. So let's win this one in 10, shall we? 1-1 pitch. Hammered into left field. That's a base hit, and the Cubs are going to take the lead. So Contreras on his way to second. That first run is an unearned run, but it counts nonetheless, and Contreras with a rope breaks the tie. It's 4-3.
Tyler, good fastball hitter in Contreras. Tyler got too much of the plate. So that ball's roped to left field.
So it's 4-3 Chicago. Schwindel, the batter, he's 1 for 4. 6 doubles for Mr. Contreras. And downstairs, ball 1. Again, I made the comparison to the way this guy swings the bat, that high finish that he employed. He reminds me of Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals, also a very tall first baseman. Made a super defensive play earlier in the game that robbed the Braves of a couple runs. And he took a poke to right. And an even count. Crowd quiet again as the Cubs take a 4-3 lead. And 1-2. I think the hard part for a relief pitcher is, look, Matzek usually starts clean innings. He comes in automatically with a runner placed, and
it is tough.
Like I said, you make one mistake, you can live with the base runner, but it's giving up the run that's obviously the hard part. One ball, 2 strikes. Catcher running at second. The pitch bounced up there. What a body block by d'Arnaud.
That's the last thing you want to do with 2 strikes, was give them a free pass over to third base. Good job by Travis. Right off the right arm.
Tyler Reddy, and the 2-2 pitch. How many foul balls have these guys had tonight?
I don't know, a lot though. We've gone through some baseballs tonight. Have to restock while we're on the road trip.
What's a baseball big league ball cost now? $15, $12?
No, not that high.
No, I'm asking. I don't know. So you're right, a very expensive night. As Schwindel fighting hard here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he chased one up and out of the zone there. Tipped and caught. There's out number 1.
Finally was able to climb the ladder and kind of get it to where Travis wanted that ball.
Wisdom, the hitter, 0 for 3 with a walk. But he has scored his 11th run in his last 11 games played.
Yan Gomes on deck for Chicago. 7 Gomes is on deck for Chicago.
Yan Gomes is on deck. He would bat for Jason Hayward. In the Atlanta 10th, d'Arnaud, Dickerson, and Duvall will be coming up. Got away, runner to third. That hurts.
I just don't like giving him that free base over there now. You know, you get the 1 run, you know you got a guy. This time the ball, instead of going off his arm straight down,
Wild pitch.
kick to the right.
So scored a wild pitch. Infield comes in with 1 out. And Patrick Wisdom in the batter's box. They've got the 1. If you can get out of this, The Braves will have a runner placed in the 10th. Well, you have Gomes, a catcher by trade, waiting on deck. If you pass Wisdom, you at least have a chance to get a double play, perhaps. Let's see what he does here. 3 balls and a strike. That one under the letters.
Wow, a little surprise there. Almost seemed like that was an auto take. 3-1 run on third. Figure he'd be looking for that fastball up a little bit to hit to the outfield.
Well, a strikeout would be nice. He's back to a full count. Not to be, though. Crack to left center field and deep. Duvall is going to watch that one sail over the fence. Third homer for Wisdom, who hit 28 of them last year. And the Cubs, with a 3-run 10th, have a 6-3 lead. That was nailed.
Yeah, I guess he was waiting for the fastball down, not up. You see Matzik almost the same exact spot that Contreras hit his double. That was a no-doubter.
No problem with exit velo or launch angle for Wisdom. A 2-run homer. And now will be Yan Gomes with the bases empty. The Braves will have to score 3 in the 10th to get it tied again. Lifted out of play. And if they don't, they'll turn to Kyle Wright to try to win game 3 of the series and the series itself. Drew Smyly is off to a terrific start with the Cubs. Will face his former mates.
Well, you just hated it. You felt like the momentum was swinging that way. For some reason, Braves have had trouble in extra inning games with these rules.
Two quick strikes, and he pulled the string on Gomes. That's out number 2. And Nick Madrigal, the hitter. Madrigal a double and an RBI tonight. With this many pitches, Matzik won't pitch tomorrow night unless there's a dire emergency.
No, I think, look, him and Jansen, I would think, are both down unless you had to.
0-2. See, we haven't seen Will Smith tonight, so he could finish the game. Will did pitch an inning last night. Minter could go back-to-back if needed. Haven't seen Spencer Strider or Tyler Thornburg tonight. The pitch. Rowan Wick is up in the Cubs bullpen. He too has been tough. He'll be handed a 3-run lead. Barring Madrigal magic here, the 0-2 count. And it's shot toward right. That's going to get down for a hit on 2 strikes. So the inning continues for the Cubs, their 3rd hit of the inning.
I think that's going to be it for Matzek.
Yeah, 22 pitches after a busy inning last night. So Brian Snitker will go to his bullpen. And it will be Tyler Thornburg on to try to get the final out in the 10th inning. The Cubs have erupted for 3 in extras. All kinds of great celebrations here at Truist Park, including those beautiful throwback 74 jerseys on Friday and Saturday. The first 15,000 fans at the ballpark get the Hank Aaron Barrier Breaker figurine presented by Delta. Get your tickets at Braves.com. Tyler Thornburg will try to retire Nico Horner and get the Braves bats back in play in the 10th.
You know, tonight the Braves offense, Chip, has kind of been the middle bottom part of the lineup. So you do have them coming up in the bottom of the 10th.
As you mentioned, the extra inning rule has not been very kind to the Braves. Last year they played 14 such games and they won just 5 of them.
Yeah.
But you at least have a chance. You bat last. As Horner is down 0-2.
Yeah, you're right. They have spoiled more pitches.
Well, there's a stat for everything. I'm sure we can ask folks to find out how many pitches were thrown and how many were fouled off.
Yeah.
They have struck out 10 times, but they've had a ton of guys come to the plate. And this one should send us to the bottom of the inning as it's popped up to the left side of home plate. Thornburg puts out the fire, but not before the Cubs score 3. The Wisdom homer, the big blow. Last chance for Atlanta in the 10th. The guy that made the last out in the 9th inning, so he will be placed there. In front of d'Arnaud, Dickerson, and Duvall, Rowan Wick is going to come out and try to pick up his first save. Again, Jeff, they have a very effective bullpen.
He's only allowed 1 earned run, 6 relief appearances this season, and he's going to have a chance to, as you said, come on for the save.
Peter Moylan and the rest of our great Valley crew found a way to answer my query tonight. The Cubs have seen 209 pitches in 10 innings. They fouled off 48 of them.
I would say it's roughly about 23%.
It's amazing. You're right.
My math or foul ball or both.
But either way,
they've done it all night.
Yeah.
Early on with Charlie too.
First pitch swing will get the runner to third, but that'll cost the Braves a precious out. As d'Arnaud's retired, here's Dickerson. 2 singles for Alex tonight.
Yeah, when the game's, when you're down 1 or even tied like that, that's a very effective out. But right now you need another base runner just to bring up the tying run. But this is where it started last time.
Yeah, 2-strike hit. They shifted him, and he just poked a ball through the whole left side. Now they've got Wisdom trying to plug that gap between the second base and third base bag. Ball and a strike. Took a shot at left. That's headed out of play, foul. Wick is ready. Here it is. And a swing and a miss. Braves have 1 out left. And it will be Adam Duvall who has bookend hits tonight. A single in the second, a double in the 8th. (6-3) Chicago. The pitch. Braves Live presented by Xfinity will follow us. Braves were awfully quiet until 2 outs in the 8th. They got it tied on a 2-strike 2-out hit from Dansby, but the extra innings blow was from Wisdom. A 2-run homer after the Contreras double, and that's the difference on the scoreboard to this point. Now we're down to our last strike. Contreras out in front of the plate to tell Wick we need 1 more strike. Now the 1-2 pitch. Didn't stick. And the Mets lost tonight. Phillies won tonight. Marlins were in Washington. Haven't seen that score. And the Braves down to their last pitch, perhaps, on a ball 2-strike count for Adam Duvall. And I'm told the Marlins did win in D.C. tonight. So Wick is ready. Ozuna at third. No, Wick's not ready. Duvall stepped out. The 1-2 up and in. A 4-hour extravaganza in the middle game of 3 in Atlanta tonight. Match ball game. Duvall caught looking, and the Cubs have evened the series. A 6-3 final score. A battle of the bullpens was really terrific until the Cubs broke through in the 10th inning. And the Braves had to use a whole handful of pitchers, 8 of them after Charlie Morton struggled. Jeff, got to get him going if the Braves are going to get to where they want to go.
Man, what you hate is that you were able to come back like that, Chip, and at the end of the day, you threw Jansen and Matzik and weren't able to get the win. I thought when Dansby got that big hit, they're going to wake up late, but credit the Cubs. They came back, and great job by the bullpen tonight, though. All together after Morton didn't have it, they came back, held the Cubs at 3 runs forever, and gave the offense a chance to get back. Just that being said, you got probably your hottest pitcher besides Max Fried and Kyle Wright going tomorrow with a chance to win your first series.
And our coverage will start at 6:30 as we wrap up the homestand on Valley Sports Southeast. For Kelly Kroll and Jeff Francoeur, we thank you for joining us. Cubs win it in extras. 6-3 your final. Stick around. Braves Live presented by Xfinity is coming right up.